Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
We're going to get into these charts and see what's going on today, y'all. Since we in the New York session, you know, I noticed in these calls that a lot of the pairs tend to have their movements, you know, shout out Florida, in the London session, you know, because majority of the pairs we're dealing with is, you know, pound pairs and euro pairs. Those are the suggested pairs. So, you know, one of the things that Nate did say in his calls is to try to trade pairs according to the session that they move the most in. And since we're in the US session, that would tend to be USD pairs and gold and US indices, which are my faves. Oh yeah, that US 30 melt was beautiful. Anybody catch this gold melt? If y'all was on the H1 yesterday, you would have caught it. I mean, it took a while though. I ain't gonna front. It did take a while for it to come down, but that was an H1 alert. There you go. There you go. Hopefully I got some converts from the H1 for the H1 time frame. All righty. So, and I'm gonna try and keep checking the chat too as any of the panelists come up too. So let's go with Euro GBP on the M15. I have it on here because as I zoom in, oh, somebody has a question. Can I go over how I use the H1 and the peekaboo? Yeah, I could do that. I surely can. I'll actually do that off of the gold trade. So I will go over that in just a second. Let me just set this up on my Euro GBP, you guys. No, I'm not going to draw the Fibonacci, but I'm just going to show you something. So this is Euro pound off of the M15. And as we can see, zoomed out, we are on a downtrend. So we're going to follow the trend of the time frame, looking for down arrow alerts. And I believe we're coming in at an awesome time because as you zoom in, look at what price is doing. So it is coming off of these little itty bitty touch off of that resistance zone and was coming down. And then it started to come back up again, a little bit of a pullback. And then once this thing closes under this MA, we should be getting an arrow alert. Now, if it's 20 pips to this support zone, you take the trade. Okay, that's strategy one, bounce, arrow, go. Bounce from a zone, and we get the arrow alert going down because we're following the trend, and count 20 pips to the zone. That will be a valid down sell trade. Okay, so for case and example, if you don't know how to count your pips, I utilize this crosshair tool, and let's just say it does come like right here off of the MA, right? We get a little down arrow alert, and if you drag it to the zone, that's about 30 pips. Okay, so if it hits that price and we get an arrow alert, you got 30 pips away, valid sell, bag entry. Okay, so I just wanted to I like to do this when I first set up so I know what I'm looking for, so that when the alert happens, I'm like, am I looking for a trade? No. I already know. Euro pound, down arrow alert, just count the pips. As long as it's 20 pips away from the zone, take the trade because I've already confirmed the trend. It's a real quick, fast way to maybe speed up your confirmations when you're taking a trade. Okay, so I'm looking for Euro GBP on that one. That was the easiest one I saw this morning. And this is G-Chef. So G-Chef, see how we're all down in the zone here? Oh, you need that pair to go up. It should go back up, but probably after the bounce. Let's see. Oh, bearish engulfing off the 62 level on EA, off of the M15. Well, look at you, Marty. I like that. When you mention 62 level, you are using Fibonacci. I love it. Off of the EA M15, I'll definitely go over that. Let me just look at G-Chef real quick. As I look at G-Chef, we're on an uptrend. I'm looking for an up arrow. We're down here playing with this support zone. It might cross above this MA, arrow MA, and give us an up arrow. However, we got this resistance zone in here. I'm not really liking that thing too much. It might not give me 20 pips, okay? Nate does teach you that you can take like half profit. So let's say it's about 15 pips to the zone instead of 20. You can cut that 20 in half and just go for 10 pips. So you can do that as well. I would do that if it qualifies, but anything less than 10 pips is not worth my time. I just go into another trade. And I am going to look at EA, and I'm going to talk about the H1 and the peekaboo off of the H1. So I will get to that in a second. You need that one to go down. Well, you are just in opposite trades, Jeffrey. What's going on? I'm curious, what time frame did you take your trades in off of? So that's G-Chef. We'll look for an up arrow. All right. And since G-Chef is going up, I'm thinking pound yen's going to go up because we're on an uptrend. Yes, sir. And let's see how close it is to this MA, and it's already above it. So if you get an up arrow, look at where the zone is. If I get an up arrow here in the next at the 30 in 12 minutes, if I get an up arrow from where we're at and you measure it, you're 16 pips away. So you might get 10 or it might blast through. So if we get it and it's still 15 pips away from the entry, I'll jump in for 10 pips and dip, but anything less than that, it's not worth my time, not worth your time. We can go look for other things. GBP, you guys are all sounding like you are in trades not off of AIRO. Oh, I see, off of variable and gearbox. Ah, yes, those are different. Yep, Mark, yes, GJ is near historical highs. Yeah, it's gonna come down, but it might take a minute. It might take a minute. So it's gonna come down though, because it's gonna bounce off this resistance and come down, but just don't know when. And then lovely pound dollar. All right, off of the M15. I'm going through the M15. We're still on the uptrend, so we're still looking for up arrows, which you might get, but we got these resistance zones sitting here. So these resistance zones can probably signify to you that, whatever uptrend that we're on, you're not going to catch a lot of pips because it's going to bounce off that resistance zone, and maybe we're getting ready to do retracement. So for those of y'all that are waiting for these pound pairs to drop, that's probably what's getting ready to happen. All right. Ooh, big time drawdown. Okay. I can understand. So let's talk about the H1 and the peekaboo, and I'm going to answer 2 questions at the same time while we're waiting for trades to appear. We got 10 minutes before stock market opens, so we should be getting some alerts at 9:30 on any of these pairs, and then I'm going to look at EA off of the M15, but you talked about the fib level, so shout me out if you get an EA bag entry alert while I'm going over this, okay? And then we could talk about fibs as well. US 500, Yoda, what about it? Tell me about what time frame we talking about, Yoda, on the S&P. Let me know. And do I talk about Bitcoin fib on H1 yet? No, I didn't, Mario. So we could talk about that. So M15 down. Oh, M5 down arrow. Appreciate that, Yoda, off of S&P. All right, no. See, we're not going. Let's go over that for a second before I jump over to something else. All right, you mentioned the down arrow off of S&P. All right, so my time when that arrow appeared is 6:45 in the morning Eastern time. Okay, I would not have taken that trade for a multitude of reasons, even though it's breaking right now. Okay, this is why I would not have taken this arrow alert. Number one, we're against the trend of the time frame. we're on an uptrend. So I will be looking only for up arrow lows, strategy 1. Okay. Number 2, it doesn't qualify for the counter trend strategy either, right off the bat, because of the time when that arrow alert appeared. Okay. So if we're going off of the M5 and you're scalping the indices off of the M5, try to stick to the rules of the arrow in the strategy that you're using. So it doesn't qualify for strategy 1. It doesn't qualify for strategy 2. I would be ignoring it, even if it is making its break right now. And that's your risk if you want to take arrows that don't necessarily fit specifically strategy rules. Those are okay. It's not to say that you can't take the trade. It's just that the probability of the trade being successful lessens when you don't follow the rules. Okay. But still, and it's a bounce arrow go for sure, because it's coming off of the resistance zone. So definitely bounce arrow go. I got you. These two. It just doesn't qualify for counter trend strategy. Okay. Hopefully that helped. Oh, see, and you say you don't have that zone on yours. That's a possibility because we might be using different brokers and things like that. So, it might help that different people see different zones. So it doesn't mean that you're wrong or anything like that. I would just trade based on the chart that you see. Okay. And then let's talk about this. Marty got the ECAD on the H1 off the 38 fib. Okay, Marty, you talking about them fibs. We're gonna get there. And then can we talk about how to get 50 take profit and 100 stop loss on NAS and UK 100? Sure, we could talk about NAS. I could talk about what my take profit and stop loss is on the indices. They're actually a little higher because their drawdown is higher compared to in currency pair. So we could talk about that as well. That's all in regards to talking about the H1. So let's see what's going on there and we'll talk. So US 30 off of the H1, Bitcoin off of the H1, and then NAS and UK, and then ECAD. All right, let's start with one of my faves, US 30, y'all. And that's going to talk about the H1, and we're going to talk about the peekaboo, because that was what the question was. I actually don't even have US 30 on this chart for some reason. I was setting things up today, so let's do that. That melt was beautiful, as it was shouted out earlier. Thanks, Trey. That was a wonderful melt, and that was actually a counter trend from the trend, overall trend that I called out. All right, so this is US 30 off of the H1. Now, US 30 is about to make a nice move because the stock market is getting ready to open in 5 minutes, y'all. Okay, so with the stock market opening in about 5 minutes, expect these indices to still go crazy. But this US 30 melt is what people were talking about. Not today. I think it was this melt 2 days ago. Yeah, because I was on the call this day. This melt right here was gorgeous, right? So how we trade US 30 off of the H1. And yes, I do. I swing trade them. Okay, so technically I should have caught this yesterday and I missed it. All right, but what this was is, and then we were waiting for this move too, and I kind of missed it. But this is how you trade anything off of the H1. It's the same thing. It's a bag entry trade. And when I say bag entry, it means it is bounce, arrow, go, but you're just doing it off of the H1 instead of the M15. All right, so we're going to zoom in. Bounce, arrow, go, US 30. Now, you got some drawdown here for sure, okay, if you want to hold it. So this is how US 30 would have played, and this thing did exactly what I did not want it to do. It was ranging. This is what I don't like US 30 does. And then it does a huge breakout to the top. It does it consistently. This is the third time I've seen this. And then it will retrace down and melt out the sky. And today is Thursday too, so I expect it to continue to melt tomorrow. All right, but let's go through this US 30 real quick. And then again, shout me out if y'all see a trade happen on the M15. All right, so I can catch that since I don't have it up on here since I'm on the H1. All right, so I'm moving back because I'm trying to show y'all this fib. Here we go. Yeah, I don't like that. That's too far. That's way, way too far. When did US 30 make this huge move? Okay, I don't like my fib on this. I think I have to go back too far to catch this US 30 trade, but let's just check this fib for a second. We're going to come right here. I'm drawing my fib, and this is being recorded, so when y'all want to go look at it again, you can. This is Fibonacci line, right? US 30 did this massive move, bounce, arrow, go. When you take this trade, right? Let me move my fib off of here for a second because I want to talk about that H1 actually. When you take this trade, normally, and this is going to answer the question about the 50 take profit and the 100 pip stop loss on the indices. Y'all were talking about NAS, but I'm going to put it in correlation to all three indices, okay? Since they move differently than currency pairs, when Nate is talking about the 50 take profit and the 100 pip stop loss, he's only referencing currency pairs. So the 10 suggested pairs, that's where those come from. When you want to start coming in here on the H1 off of the indices, you're going to have to increase your stop loss, okay? Because 100 pip on a stop loss on an indice is only a $10 move. NAS will hit that $10 move in less than a minute. Okay, so before you even go in, before it even moves in your direction, it will move $10 against you in less than a minute. So the 100 pip stop loss ain't gonna work, not off of the H1. Okay, what I've been doing is I have extended it. All right, so for S&P, and you could test it out for yourselves, I was doing 125 pip take profit and a 250 to 300 pips stop loss on S&P. Okay, on NASDAQ, I doubled that. Okay, so I was going for a 250 pip take profit and a 500 to 600 pip stop loss. And then on US 30, oh, it was just crazy. I was going for what was it? I'm at 250 for NAS. So I would actually go 750 take profit on US 30, and your stop loss is anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 pips. Okay, off of the H1. And with those things that I just called out, that's why you have to be really, really careful about your risk management when you're trading those. And sometimes you might not have the capital to swing trade US 30 for this right here. And we're going to talk about that stop loss. So, and I'm just going, that was off the top of my head because I haven't swung trade US 30 in like a week or two because it didn't come up. But I'm going to show you all this right here. So you have bounce, arrow, go. You would have got in right here, right? Before it even goes in your direction. So it went 171 pips in your direction, right? So if you want to just quickly scalp it, you could, and then you can get out. But if you want to swing trade it and hold it for a long period of time, like have it come up here or something like that, because you withdrew your fib, look at where your drawdown would be. Okay, that's 1,473 pips drawdown. And remember, I just quoted like 1,500, so it might even have to go, it was close to that. And then it goes in your favor. So I'm just looking off this off of the fib. I would say probably this is like your zero. So you risking 1,500 to make 4,000 pips is doable on US 30, but just recognize your drawdown is extremely high. And if you don't have an account balance that covers that, then that's US 30 isn't your thing. You do that, maybe go down the NAS or S&P. Okay. So that's my thought process on swing trading the H1, and that is all the indices, and that's what I do consistently. I love S&P because it moves slower. All right, it still gives me more movement than a currency pair, but S&P just moves a little slower, so I can handle when it wants to make a move. And I'll put S&P on here because remember, we're looking for up arrows, so we might get an up arrow, but I got this resistance zone there, and I don't like that zone. So if that up arrow comes, probably not going to jump in immediately. You know, maybe need it to come back, hit that zone, come back down, and go back up again. All right. Look for quality trades, not just any trade, quality trades. This is S&P on the H1. See how the movement is very similar than US 30, right? Okay. Same, you see these bars look very similar to what happened with US 30. Okay. But now look at your drawdown here on S&P. Okay. Look at the drawdown. Now I'm only 280 pips in drawdown. Okay. And then I went up and made 429 pips. All right. 280 pips to make 429, I'm cool with the drawdown of 280 pips on a smaller account. 1,500 pips as a drawdown, I'm gonna need a bigger account. Okay, so that's why I say S&P on the lower time frames, you cool with. All right, and excuse me, not lower time frame, lower bounce, you cool with. Practice it though. But US 30 got to come a little higher. All right. So that's H1, and the same thing goes for NASDAQ as well. Okay, and I do not trade UK 100, but I have heard it is similar to NASDAQ 100. So I would just apply the same thought process and then demo it out and see how it works. But my thought process is on UK 100 and on a DAX or German 30, since those are European indices, my thought is that they will move better during the European London session. Okay, so I would say trade those then, even though they probably do move during US session. I would just say maybe stick to the indices, and like what Nate says, trade the pairs that move the most in the sessions that they're in. And since those are European indices, I would think that they would move more during the European London session. So that's my thought process, and then trade the US indices during the US session the most. Not that you can't do either or, but just look for the most prime opportunities. All right, so that is the US indices. I'm gonna put S&P back on the M5 so I can wait for my trade and look at it. See how look, oh, see, you saw, see this candle? Market just opened, just huge. And let it break through that resistance zone. That's going to be great. Am I going to get an up arrow? Possibly. It depends on where it breaks this zone and where price ends up and the arrow comes up. And then if I get an arrow and then the distance to this zone, if I can catch 20 pips, I'll try and take that. But I like 50 pips actually when I'm on the M5 trading the indices. 50 pips on S&P, and then so on and so forth for NASDAQ and US 30 off of the M5. But remember, NASDAQ and US 30 will give you significant drawdown. So that's why S&P is a fave. Okay, you could deal with the drawdown on S&P before it goes in your favor a lot more easier and stomach it versus NASDAQ and US 30. But that's my opinion, and that's what I've heard from multiple people. Okay, so while we're waiting for it, somebody called out we got bank induction on the M15 on GU. Let me see, let me check that out. Let's see what's going on. GU bank induction, do we have it? I didn't see it. Oh yes, we did hours ago though. That came out about 6:30 my time, Eastern time. So yeah, that is a valid bank induction. So that strategy has not come out yet. I believe Nate will be coming out with it soon. I'm not gonna put no timer on him on that, but the way I remember it, I'll say that, because Nate has did some tweaks to some of the strategies lately that he had. Oh, who has their hand raised? If you have your hand raised, you could just drop a question in the Q&A for me, so that way I'll be able to catch it. Okay. The way Nate had I lost train of my thought. Sorry, y'all. Oh, yes. Bank induction strategy. Since I was a part of the beta test group, Nate did go over all of the strategies. However, there have been some tweaks to them since that group had happened. For instance, the Asian session breakout. It's different now than it was in the beta test group. So Nate found better way to handle that. So that one, the money zone breakout, that's actually still the same, except for the one tweak about trading it in the next money zone. So he's perfected those strategies. So the bank induction, as I'm going to say it, was how I remember it. So if he has perfected it since then, it could just be minor tweaks to make it even better. But when you see an arrow going directly into the zone, I'm going to zoom out. I'm on an uptrend. We have 3 resistance. We're in an uptrend. That's confirmed, okay? When you see a counter trend arrow going directly into the zone, the next candle, you would take your trade following your trend. So down sell arrow directly into a support zone, the next candle, take your trade for 20 pips. Okay, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. See? Right here as a buy. Up. And that one candle gave you about 15, 16 pips. And then it came back again, and then it played around. So you would have been in there for a minute before you hit your 20. But you hit your 20 probably in that candle. If spread was coming against you, you would have been still holding it. And then it would have hit it in this candle. So you would have been holding that for quite a while, actually. Unless you wanted to just pip and dip for like 10 or 15. But 20 pips is normally how you're taught, how I was originally taught that. Okay. And that is not a counter strategy 6 counter. That is a bank induction, which was shout out to Gavin for throwing that out there, which is not the strategy that's out yet. And it could be have tweaked as Nate does it, but that's how I've been taught to use it previously and what I remember. And that's what I've been doing lately. Okay. So shout out to you, Gavin, for talking about that GU trade. But it's going to be funny acting since then. Somebody asked, why don't I trade the US 2000? Because I have not found a broker a Forex broker that would allow me to trade the Russell 2000. That's my problem. So if you could tell me of a broker that allows me to trade the Russell 2000 index, I'm all for it. Let me know. And DM me on Telegram. You don't have to put it in the chat because I'm not going to see it, but DM me on Telegram. Hey, CB, I see you. Take a look at NAS on the M5. CB, you want to come on up? Let me see here. NAS on the M5. And how do I do that? I do not know how to bring up people. So we are going to do that. Thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, just drop me a DM on Telegram. We're going to go. I'm going to look at NAS on the M5 real quick, and then I'm going to see if I can bring that CB up. NASDAQ and the M5. Boom. Template. As you can see, I was focused on other pairs. Oh, yeah, that thing done shot up though. Dang it, if I would have had that on there, I would have took that. I don't want to chase that though. Let's go into the zone. No, I don't want to chase it. I'm late. I'm late on that. Darn it. Sorry about that, you guys. I wish I would have had NASDAQ in there. Let me look at the M1. All right, I'm looking at the M1 and it's pulling back. So wait. Let me see if after this candle, what it does here, and then maybe we might be able to get in. Oh, snap. You guys, y'all caught that? Okay, good. See, that's what happens when I'm talking. I'm missing things. Yeah, I see NAS. I would say come down to the M1, and when you see a good candlestick formation, go ahead and drop in on that. Okay, now I got my S&P M5 alert. And let me see, how much to the zone is it? Please don't freeze on me so I can count. Boom. Oh, that's 30 pips. Yeah, I'm going in on that. Yeah, let's go. I'm on S&P. I'll take that one. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Peekaboo. Yeah, nothing there. Let's go. There we go. And it's retracing too, but that's okay. I'm only going to go to the zone because I'm not going to catch 50 on this. Yeah. Boom. There you go. How many pips is that? I can't even see how that hover. 35 pips. Okay. That's cool. I'm not going to catch 50 for sure, but I'm going to the zone. I said 20 pips or around 20 pips or more. I'm cool. Let's do that. All right. So shout out to y'all for throwing out that S&P real quick. The S&P alert. That's what happens when I was a little late. And you know what? I'm not sure why I don't have a support zone appearing here. It might be delayed, but that is a bounce, y'all. I mean, because some people have zones here where I'm kind of hovering. Mine doesn't, but I think it's been delayed, and mine gets a little delayed for some reason. I don't know why, but that's a bounce arrow go. Taking it. All right, so now let me figure out how to get CB up here. How do I get you? I don't know how to get you, CB. Uh-oh. Darn. I don't know how to do that. Jeez, that's crappy. CB, if you could do me a favor and just log in to the call, that would be cool because I have never brought anybody up and I don't know how, and I'm so sorry. All right. So, Adrian, do I know when the AIRO V4 scanner is coming out? Nope, I don't know. I really wish it would though. So, but hopefully it's going to come out soon. All right. Let's see. Oh, by the way, on this S&P trade, stop loss is 100 pips. So I was taught 50 pip take profit, 100 pips stop loss. And since it's not 50 pips to the zone, really should only go for like 25 to be on the safe side. So, cut it in half just like we would on the currency pairs. So let me just do that. It might hit the zone. I really don't care. I'm trying to follow the rules. Okay. So, yeah, don't know when the scanner's coming out yet, but I really hope it does soon. So, but don't be having Nate come for me, you guys. What is that thick red line? Is that a 50 MA? On my chart, it's not the 50 MA. This is the 200 EMA. Because I'm trying to practice the strategy 9 market maker method strategy that Nate came out with. I've only watched the video like once. And so, but when I hear certain things when he's talking, and so when I heard it's a 200 EMA and the cross with the AIRO MA, I immediately threw the 200 on there. So that's what this is, the 200 EMA. It's not a part of AIRO. So for those of y'all who are new, this is not a part of AIRO. This is just a regular indicator. You would go to Insert, Indicators, and then Trend, okay, as it wants to delay, Moving Average, click on it, and then 200 period, 0 shift, exponential at the close. That's what it is. And then hit OK. All right. So that is that. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the Q&A, not in the chat, because I'm not going to catch the chat. Let's see here. What is a 0.01 lot size per pip with US 30 versus S&P 500? They're actually the same. It's just the speed of it. Okay. So either way, a 0.01 on the pips is the same. A 0.01 and you're going for 10 pips is a $1 move. Okay, GBP USD for a buy. We were on a buy trend. Is it 20 pips to the zone? Let's take a look. It's in a zone. So no go until that zone disappears. So what could happen here is that since it's all up in this resistance zone on my chart, I will kind of wait for that zone disappear and maybe catch pips to the next zone. All right. So for example, let's just say the zone disappears and it's still hovering around here. Then to the next zone, it's like 17 pips. So you might be able to catch 10 pips on a later trade than that. So that's what we'll wait for on that one. But again, answering the question about the 0.01, the weight of the lot size, doesn't matter between S&P and US 30. It was the speed of it. So you may think, oh, in 1 minute, I can catch 100 pips on US 30. You can, because that's a $10 move, and US 30 could do $10 in 1 minute price move. S&P takes about maybe an hour to do a $10 move sometimes. Okay, so the 0.01 lot size is equivalent to both. It's just the speed and the volatility of when that trade takes place and how long it stays open. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Nathan said last night he would like to get V4 out by the second week of March. Hey, shout out to you, David, for coming through with the info like that. Yeah, there you go. Second week of March. Yay! That way I don't have to have all these charts up. And I don't need to miss anything while I'm talking. Okay. Um, let's see. Oh, Marty, you talked about EA earlier off of the 62 fib level on the M15, and then you're talking about the 38 fib level on ECAD off of the H1, bearish engulfing. I love it. I'm gonna see if I can bring those two up. And Yoda's talking about GJ off of the M15. It might break that zone. Yeah, it probably would. GJ. Yeah, it might break that zone and take that thing to the moon. You know what would be nice? Is if GJ breaks the zone, and as it's breaking the zone, gives us an AIRO alert. But, and I'm gonna say but on that, is because you're making a new high of the day too. So you might be expecting some pullback. Okay, so just wanted to throw that out there. You might be expecting some pullback. Oh, okay, it's reversing big time on you. Got you. Yeah, it's that time of day. The market wants to be playing around. You know, look at the S&P. That's why 100 pip stop loss. That pullback, and I did the peekaboo, so there wasn't nothing stopping us. You know, so it is what it is. Stop loss on S&P is 100 pips when you're on the M5. 50 pip take profit, 100 pip stop loss. But because there was a zone in the way, I'm not going to get 50 pips. So I cut that in half to take profit, but the stop loss is still the same. You know, you can't necessarily cut the stop loss in half because of the zone in front of you. So 100 pip stop loss. Okay, so I'm gonna bring Bitcoin. Did I talk about Bitcoin fib on the H1 yet? No, I didn't. Let me jump to Bitcoin as well before we look at those euros, since Marty says that they not playing nice right now. Let's see. Look at that pullback that Nas did. That's why I didn't jump in that M5. It was too far gone. I would have caught that at the beginning if I would have had my thing on the M5 or that scanner. Look at that pullback though. So we're gonna have to wait on NAS again. And that signifies probably why S&P is doing this little pull. See, this is the candle we would have got in, and because we were late, you know, this is your pullback. So nah, I'll wait. And just look at it, and same pullback is happening on S&P as well, unfortunately. So it'll turn around and come back mostly. It should anyway. But hey, 80% winning accuracy on this. This could be that 1 or 2 trades out of 10 that don't go. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Stop loss has been set. Follow the rules, and we're good. Like I said, I know I have a support zone. I don't know why mine is delayed here, but there's all these touches in that same area. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Sometimes I have zones appear really quickly with something like that, and then sometimes I don't. I don't know why that's happening to me. But if you got any questions, put them in the Q&A for me. Let's check out this Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin off of the H1. I guess y'all see I drew my fib on it already. So massive melt took place on Bitcoin all the way down to the 79. I'm going to zoom out so you can see where my fib starts. So my fib starts on that support zone down here, the lowest point, and then drew it to its highest point. And then here's your massive retracement, pullback, whatever terminology you want to use. All right, so Bitcoin pulled back to the 79 fib level. Okay, and with that, it's on an uptrend, by the way, too, as we all know. So since it pulled back that much to the 79 fib level, and now it's making its way back up. So it played around up here, came you down. Here's your up arrow. You would have been looking for an up arrow, bounce, arrow, go, and then you have all this drawdown, and then now it's moving up again. Now I'm not as familiar with Bitcoin. Again, I think I took maybe my 5th trade yesterday. So I was actually in this drawdown, the drop that it took yesterday. I caught most of that. I posted my results there, but I don't normally do that. One, because it was counter trend, and two, because I'm not really familiar with Bitcoin. And so as I'm utilizing the Fibonacci retracement on this, I am seeing that it seems to be respecting certain levels. And shout out to Corey, Corey Moore. He's been doing awesome with Bitcoin. And here's your bounce arrow go though, and you have this drawdown. So you got to be able to stomach some drawdown. And here's how I would normally take an H1 trade utilizing the fib. All right, so since Bitcoin, and Nate actually posted a comment in the AIRO bag chat that Bitcoin does not have a take profit or stop loss suggested for it. So with that being said, I utilize the Fibonacci tool to help me with that. Okay, so and what I'm doing is I'm setting not only my take profit, but I'm also setting a stop loss. Okay, and based on the stop loss is what my lot size will be. All right, so we're at bounce arrow go. Okay, that's how it is. Straight up bag entry off of the H1. Now, when you take the trade, I'm zooming in so you can see, your entry will be right here. All right. So utilizing the Fibonacci, you'll see that price has come back and it has touched this 79 fib level. Okay. My stop loss for this trade, had I caught it at the time when it happened, okay, is the 1 fib level down. Okay. So I'm going to zoom out so you can see what I'm talking about. 79, my fib level, 100. That would be my stop loss with a little bit of a cushion. So technically, I will put my stop loss underneath the support zone. Okay, so that would be my stop loss. Now, based on that stop loss, I need to now see what my lot size would be, and I would need to measure how many pips is that. And as we know, the pip count on Bitcoin is a little different, but my understanding is, I'm going to say like right here is close enough, I think. That is 54,180 pips, 0.5, right? 54,180.5. And I believe 54,000 is like 5,000 pips or something like that. Now, that's a lot. That's a lot of pips, even to put that. So right off the bat, I'm not even at the stop loss. I probably would do a 0.01 on this thing for sure. But that's your stop loss. Now look at where your take profit would be. My take profit would be up here at this resistance zone or 0 on my fib. I got clear skies to take me to this zone. All right. Now, if to get to this zone, it might take a day or two. And it's on Thursday, so this could be a false move that Bitcoin is doing right now. But ETH M5 arrow, thanks. All right, going up or down? Let me know. Are we following the trend? That would be how I would handle Bitcoin off the H1 now. I would use the Fibonacci to set my stop loss and then my take profit. And depending on how many pips it is, especially since I'm not familiar, I'm throwing 0.01 lot size on there, test it out. And then as I do it more, I'll probably increase my lot size as it gets better. So hopefully that answered that question. Good morning, Milton. Someone said ETH, Ethereum off on the M5. Okay. Y'all gonna get me with these. I'm going to just throw ETH right on there. Ooh, look at that. We got an H1 buy. Look at that. I know you said M5, but let's look at this. Well, that doesn't look kosher. With these pinks over this green. Let me zoom out. Okay, that looks a little bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up arrow is valid. I'm not familiar with ETH though, and it's kind of retracing right now. So we'll see what happens with that. I wouldn't necessarily take that, but let's go to this M5 that she's talking about. Okay. if you got a down arrow on the M5, is that what you got? Because I don't have an arrow yet, aside from the ones that happened previously. And let's count the zones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's even from what I can see. So I'm not sure how he does it. Yeah, it was okay. It was a down arrow. All right. I don't have my down arrow yet. So I would be cautious to even take it because they're even, and because I don't think there's been established rules on even zones for crypto. Okay. When Nate talks about even zones, my understand draw a triangle. Julian, I don't draw. I don't draw no wedges or triangles or anything. I ain't drawing no trend lines. You want to see somebody draw something that's Matt? Matt does those. I don't draw. But you know, if you say draw a triangle, that's an excellent suggestion for those who will do that. But I don't do that. So I can't. When it's even like that, I would technically ignore it. But if y'all have other rules to help you take that trade, go for it. All cryptos follow BTC. Ah, excellent. Okay, cool. Oh, well, shoot, S&P, you just want to come on here and mess with me today and try and hit my stop loss. Come on, man. You was just at like 30 pips. Why is you playing? Look at that massive retracement down. Come on. Did it just... okay. I don't know why my zone still hasn't appeared yet. Let me know if y'all got a zone on S&P appearing on your screens, because on the M5, because I don't know why mine is not there, but that should be a zone. Okay, interesting. All right, we'll have to just see what that does. Let me know if y'all do get one now. Oh, on the M1, yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to... All right, cool. Thank you, God. All right, so Milton's asking, what's a good starting funds for S&P and Bitcoin? I really don't know what to tell you on that, especially on Bitcoin. Um, I know, I know that I've seen on Nate's IG, he had did like a $50 account and flipped that thing multiple times using S&P. But Nate's skilled, you know. I have traded myself personally off of S&P with excuse me 1 second. Sorry, my little something got caught in my throat. I traded it with a $100 account, but that was taking very few trades, and I was mostly swing trading it. So I would just say that you know, possibly come in with a little bit more if you want to go live, but I don't want to just necessarily give you financial advice or anything. What was that? Somebody's yelling at me. Who's that? Oh, I don't know what that trade is. I don't know where that came from. How I heard that. Oh, it's gonna hit my stop loss. Son of a... Yep, stop loss hit. Why am I not out? Oh, because I didn't put it. Dang. You guys. Well, look at that. Hold on. Yeah, it's gonna hit it again, but let me just get out of the trade. Oh my goodness. I don't know why that did that. Okay, well, that's one out. Let it hit that stop loss and get out. So we'll see. Yeah, out that trade. So goodness gracious, that was $10 off of mine. Now I gotta make that back. Anyway, let's see what we're gonna do. Let's see if I can make that back now. But yeah, sorry about that, Milton. But I would just say with live on S&P, let's do so maybe 250 and above, just a thought process. But I've traded off $100, but I would practice it first. That just threw me off with that massive retracement down like that off of an uptrend. And that support though, dang, why it didn't appear? I'll have to think about that later and see what's up. But let's see if we can recoup that. Off of another one, maybe even off of NASDAQ. That's what we'll do. Let's go to NAS. So it'll make it a little faster. Watch that pullback, come off of this support, and see if we can bounce off of that and jump back in again. That'll make me feel better. All off of ECAD and EA. So we will look at that. H1 sell off of NAS, really? Okay. I'm glad you guys have other time frames up because I'm not going to be able to catch these without a scanner. There we go. H1 sell. You know what? I'm wary now because I don't have no zone. And just like what happened with the S&P now, I'm wary about taking this as a drop, as a sell now because my zone's not here. And I don't know why it's not popping up and moving. So I'm kind of, now let me know if y'all have a zone for that down arrow off of NAS. Okay. Yeah. So lesson learned. I'm not going to get bit twice today on this. Okay. Yeah. No zone. I'm not taking that trade. No. I got bit already off of the S&P one. Not doing that again. I'll wait. Let's see here. ECAD and EA is gone. Gone like in a good way or gone like in a bad way? Okay. Okay. All right. US 30 looks like it's passing previous daily. No arrow yet. Okay. Off of the 15, but one on the M5. Okay. And somebody said, what if you have zones on different time frames? Does that matter? You know what? Somebody mentioned we had a zone on the M1 and it didn't matter for S&P. So I'm going to say, no, it don't matter. Zone on the current time frame that you're going to trade in. And again, I don't know why today mine didn't pop up, but I guess that was for a reason and I shouldn't have gotten that trade. So I'm not getting bit twice. Oh, somebody said US 30 off of the M5. Let's see what we got. Because I want to make that trade up for sure. I'm not getting those zones. See, I got this one, boom, that's okay. And then a second consecutive arrow is okay, but I have a third arrow here and I don't have no zone. I'm cautious of this third arrow. Okay. Nate says 2, I see 3. I don't know about this third one. Okay. So I would say we're just gonna leave that one be for right now. All right. But I'm gonna stay on the M5 on all of them because I want my money back. You know, like what was it, Tuesday, where I had those trades that didn't go well, and then when I got off with you guys, I went and scalp that money back. I'm not gonna scalp today though, because it looks a little funny today. I'm just gonna stick solely with the AIRO alerts and any strategies that are involving it. But yeah, I got mad and I made my money back, but I'm gonna make sure that we do it right. Okay. So let's look at the Q&A. EJ might break up the M15. All right, so y'all got the E's up, and I have mostly the pound pairs. So I do have, notice how I was looking for that EG M15 going down, never got it, and it retraced. See that little sucker? So EJ going up in ECAD and EA. I heard those 3. So let us take a look. Oh, anybody having serious lag on their VPS? I'm not right now, not me. But if you are, I'm not sure what will be going on. I don't know if it's like internet connections or if it's just a VPS in and of itself. I am not sure, but I'm not experiencing any lag with you guys on right now. I'm just putting EJ on my chart because I didn't have hardly any euro pairs because I had just, again, I don't necessarily trade currency pairs consistently. I'm more down on the indices, which, you know, again, today they made me mad. Good gracious, look at that S&P melt. That thing just was not playing fair today. Not at all. And look at that NAS melt, and it's going to break this zone possibly. Look at that thing. Oh gosh. Oh, look at this melt out the sky. You know, I don't even think I want to be on a lower time frame right now. Let me put myself back on the H1 because that's happening. That might be cooler. Let me see. Look at that melt out the sky. Look at this. Um, Interesting. Yeah, I got a down arrow and it's going down, but I don't have a zone. That is bothering me, you guys. I feel like I'm getting that. And people are freezing. Okay. Okay. I'm cautious on the third arrow because I wasn't sure if it was following one, I don't have a zone for it. And two is that my understanding is that I would not have 3 consecutive arrows. I haven't been taught that. I've been taught 2 consecutive arrows. So having 3 in a row there is giving me concerns that something's going on that I can't see. Now I see the strategy 9 is crossing this MA. That's great, which is probably why it dropped like that. But I don't have I see bounce, arrow, go, second arrow, and I guess you could say bounce, arrow, go, and then second arrow maybe, but I've never seen this combination before. That's why I'm hesitant on it. Possibly, yeah. That's the only reason. I hadn't seen that before, so that's the only reason why I'm cautious. And since I'm on here with y'all, I'm trying to be a little bit more cautious on things, especially since S&P just bit me. um, let's see here. Fib on the NAS H1. Yeah, we looked at that. You want to see the fib on the NAS H1? Is that what we're saying? Let me know. If I was drawing a fib, it would be an uptrend. All right, so any down arrows is counter to this uptrend off of the H1 after this melt, but this looks like a false move up. So I'm going to draw it. Fibonacci retracement tool. Here is the lowest point. I'm drawing it right off of I'm drawing it for this move. And you're measuring this move. That's what Fibonacci is doing. It might bounce. You have it on and it might bounce off the 38. Okay, well, we might have different fibs. Because mine looks like that thing is down at the 62 right now. Okay. So just so you know that, and let's see here. That's where I'm at with that. Let me check this. All right. And up here, retrace down. It hit the 79. It did not touch 100. And then it went back up again, played around off of the 50, and it's coming back down. So I am not looking for NASDAQ. I was looking for up arrows, honestly. Bounce, arrow, go. But normally when I'm on the H1, I'm usually going to 0. So, or the next resistance zone that's appearing. But since we have this happening, I'm wondering if I'm going to get another resistance zone, which would mean now there's 3, telling me that the downtrend is starting to strengthen. So we might be getting a new trend, possibly. So, but I would not necessarily trade against what the trend of the time frame is. So I would be on the lower time frames for this. So that's where that's how I drew my H1 on NAS right now. If it decides to turn around and go back up again, I might get back in there as an up and scalp, and I won't not scalp, but just do a regular H1 bag entry trade. But I got to see a zone there because after what just happened, I need to maybe put it on a zone. Okay. Yeah. Down arrow on S&P in 5. Thank you. All right. Down arrow. Yeah, because it broke that zone probably. Yep. Okay. And it made a new low, and then it turned around and came up. All right. So if it creates a support zone, which is the next time I get in this thing going up, then I will hop in S&P again. But now that I just had that little issue with the support zone not appearing when normally it does appear for me like that, I'm just going to wait and get my zone first and then go. All right. So I'll leave it on M5. And you put it on the low from 2 days ago. We're talking about NASDAQ off the fib. Yeah. This one. I see you measured that move. Yeah, I can understand that. I just think that this is a false move. That's why I did not draw my fib for that. I drew it for this move. All right. So that's why we have a difference. Not to say that your fib is wrong. We just drew it differently. That's all. All right. So that's that. So fib is on NAS off the H1. We're in retracement right now. I'm going down to the M5 on NAS. And this is what the M5 looks like. And moving back, we're still in what trend on here? It is turning down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I didn't zoom out all the way. It is turning down now. So if I get a down arrow, that might be a little bit better. All right, I'm zoomed out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to just make sure. Yeah. All right, now we're in a downtrend on the M5. So it just sliced through whatever supports were there. So it just made its low of the day, and it might push back up and give me another resistance zone to bounce off of, and then take my down, going down on the M5, and then we're fine following the rules. Okay, like as you can see, that support zone thing the M5 S&P just did upset me. So now I need to see that support zone now. Even if you guys see it, if I don't see it on my chart, not taking it. All right. Okay. I'm just checking the Q&A real quick. Not able to even get on your VPS. It's not doing anything with my computer or internet as I'm on my Questrade, no problem. Okay. If you're not able to get on your VPS, DM me on Telegram, okay? And let me just see if there's anything that I could do to help you outside of doing a support ticket to Auvoria Prime. Sorry, I'm trying to get my words out. And see if that can help. As a matter of fact, you know, if you can't even get into your VPS, that sounds odd to me. Okay, so if you didn't get anything from support yet, I would say first submit a ticket to support. And if you didn't get anything from support yet, then, you know, maybe shoot me on a DM on Telegram and see if I can maybe help you out. I don't know. Because just hearing if you can't get on your VPS is odd to me versus being frozen. Not sure what your internet's strong. I know they were talking about Auvoria having a VPS update this weekend, adding more storage to the VPS system. I personally haven't heard that yet, but if you heard that, that might help resolve that issue. Yeah, I know my internet's pretty strong too. So I know they've been dealing with VPSs for a while, but I know they had an update come out about that, with not only increasing storage or resources, but also having backup providers of VPSs. So that way, you know, it'll also assist with the amount of storage and resources that are available. So definitely that would help. Now it's M5 cell. Okay, I said we are on this cell, and I don't have a zone. See, I just said it. I said, okay, I should be getting a down arrow. I don't have a zone. I can't take that trade, y'all. I can't take that trade. And even if I reload AIRO on here, so I'm going to reload AIRO again and see if I can take this trade with it. No, see, even reloading it, I don't have a zone. Lexi, you raised your hand. Put something in the chat for me, darling, or put it in the Q&A if you got something to say. Let's see here. They're trying to access the VPS on the remote desktop without signing to it on their back office first. After a reboot, it won't work. So David just put something in the chat that might help you guys with the VPS. All right, if you want to take a look at those. Let's see. EJ on the 15-minute time, 15-minute zone. EJ, 15 minutes on the zone. All right, going up, down, I guess. EJ, where we at? Yes, in the zone. Yes, beautiful. That's nice. However, I'm on an uptrend, so I would be looking for up arrows. And because this thing is all up in the zone, there ain't gonna be nothing I could do if an arrow does appear. And if it comes down, it's against the trend. So I can't necessarily take it going against the trend confidently. I'll say that. Okay. Oh, there you go. David, can you put it in there to the all panelists and attendees? Because it just went to us. Okay. Appreciate that. Okay. So I don't see any questions in the Q&A. So that's that. All right. So yeah, EJ, that's why I can't do anything with it right now. It's all up in the zone. And we want to make sure I follow those trades. If y'all got something, definitely throw it in the Q&A for me. All right, so I can see that. And if you guys have something that you want to ask or a question or whatever. So in the meantime, and look at that NAS, and just retrace back up. So that's okay. Let me see here. And there we go. We're just going to wait. Look at that retracement, even though that is becoming an engulfing candle. So that looks nice. So let's see what's going on with that. I would not going to do it based on where we're seeing here, even though that's an engulfing candle. That is a scalp technique of taking a trade, but that's not really based off of AIRO. That's just based off of candlestick formation, really. And I'm really am a little upset about that non-zone thing. So I'm sticking with AIRO strategies today, y'all. If y'all have additional knowledge to take scalp trades, you can. I probably would, but I don't want to do it right here on an AIRO call. Probably do it later for something like that. But anyway, so NAS M5, we wait. S&P M5 down. See, uptrend still on that. Wait. I got my down arrow. That's nice. It's coming back up. It's engulfing. All right. That's beautiful. Give me a support zone with an arrow alert. I'll take the trade. All right. That's what we're working on. GCAD M15. Well, go ahead, Pia, shouting them all out. Okay. Pia M15, we going up or down? Let me know. What we doing? Thank you, David, for doing all that in the chat. I appreciated it. We're going up. All right. Appreciate that, Pia. GCAD. Where's my GCAD? I thought I had it on here. No, I do not. I'm going to leave S&P on the M5. Look at GCAD. See what's up. GCAD M15. GCAD has actually been on a roll lately from what I've seen. So this might be the week of retracement week, which was also last week. But hopefully these swing trades that I'm looking for is going, okay, so yeah, GCAD gave me an arrow, but we right at the zone. I can't take that trade neither. I can't take that trade. Look at that. That's not even 2-3 pips maybe. I don't know. Let me see. Is it 5 pips? To the zone? No, 3. Can't take that trade. No. See, it touched the zone. It's probably going to retrace right back down off of it again. I can't take it. Thank you for the shout out, though, dear. I appreciate that. But what could happen, and I will say this, if you look at the H1 on GCAD, all right, look at what it's looking like now. All right, so I might not be able to take that trade off of the M15 going up, okay, because it's all up in that zone. But what it could be signifying to you is that it is on its retrace, it's restarting its trend. Okay, here's why. Here is your movement, retracement, or pullback, you want to call it, and range, drop. And then it could be restarting it again. So on the H1, you get an up arrow alert, you might be able to catch them 50 pips. Now, again, currency pairs off of the H1, 50 pip take profit, 100 pip stop loss. This thing might do it. Now, today's Thursday. On indices, I'm a lot wary about alerts on Thursday afternoons, thinking that it's going to restart the trend to catch my fib to go to the zero. But on currency pairs, I'm not as familiar, but I would take that as a bag entry if a support zone appears here for me, gives me a bag entry going up to take the trade for 50 pips, I will do that on GCAT. Okay. David, that's what's up. Strategy number 9. Let me know if that's what you're talking about, Dave. Let's see here. So that's what I'm thinking about GCAT. You know, get an H1 arrow alert going up. As long as there is a support zone showing on your chart, all right, take that. You could take that trade valid because it'll be bounce arrow go. As long as you got 50 pips in between you and the zone, go for it. Now, I'll circle back, like with the CAD yen trade from, what was it, Tuesday or something like that? And you saw how it was a valid bag entry off of the H1, but it went in drawdown like 36 pips or something like that, right? 36, almost 40 pips. And then it turned around and went in favor and blast through the zone, right? So sometimes, like what Nate says, you gotta wait and let the process happen. All right. So even if that happens and you take your up arrow and it's a valid bag entry, you know, if it has drawdown, you need to be comfortable with whatever you set your stop loss at. And every time you look at that stop loss, there has to be money that you're okay with losing. Okay? If you're not okay with losing that, then change your stop loss or don't take that trade. All right? Okay, Strat 9 on GBP CAD. Don't know. Because I'm not familiar with Strat 9 all the way yet. Yeah. Okay, no bounce on the M15. On what you talking about, Pia? You talking about on that GU? Let me know. Because you would have got GU on the M15. Let's check that. You know, let's see what's up. Okay, we got a bounce, arrow, go, but it's all up in that zone. So that is why it's a no-go. However, if you're thinking about this being a bank induction, all right, remember, GU's on an uptrend. So that's not a bank induction. Bank induction would have to be a sell. It needs to look like this and not this. Okay, so that would be why. All right, let's see here. Oh, okay. GCAD on the M15, you said? I'm sorry. You did say that. I'm sorry. I went to the H1 immediately. No, we were talking about the M15 originally. And on the M15, I said it was too close to the zone. So if you were looking to see if you can get in on an H1 trade down here, I wouldn't necessarily do it at this point. I would be looking for the H1 alert and then coming down to a lower time frame to see if I missed that alert, to see if I can get in again, you know, if it hadn't moved to 50 pips. That's what I would do. But I wouldn't be necessarily looking at this time frame right now to get in for what might happen in the future. Then you're just guessing. Okay. Bag on the 15 just happened on GCAD. I don't know what y'all seeing, but this is what I'm seeing. If you can see my screen, I'm on GCAD on the M15 and I got a zone, so that's why I can't take it. Oh, well, let me know, y'all, what y'all talking about if I got it wrong. There's a question in the Q&A. When I get an arrow on the M15 chart, there's a zone in front, but not in front on the H1. Do you take on the H1 on G odd? Okay, let me see here. Okay, thanks, Claire. I appreciate that. Let's go to G odd and let's walk through that question. All right, so G odd, so I can see what you're talking about and walk it through while I'm waiting for my indices to give me my alerts. All right, so let's do that. Load arrow up on here. Man, that scanner is gonna come in handy. All right, so get an arrow alert on the M15 chart, and there is a zone in front of you, but not in front of you on the H1. Do you take it on the H1 on GA? All right. For that, I would take it on the H1 if I got an H1 alert. So if I didn't get one, I wouldn't be taking that trade. So for instance, let's look at GR. I'm going to zoom out. All right. I zoomed out all the way, I think. Okay, yeah. Zoomed out all the way. And I have 2 resistance zones. So we're in an uptrend. So I'm only looking for up arrows, right? So if you were talking about these down arrows, you know, those are counter trend trades. This one came at, I don't know why it's not giving me my time. There it is, 6 o'clock in the morning, my time. So that would have not been a valid strategy 6 counter trend trade, unless it might have been possibly strat 9 with the whole price close above and it came back down, touched the 200 EMA, came back down again, closed under, and then boom, it went down. That does look like a strat 9. Okay, so, but if you're trading it off of the H1, you know, follow the H1, whatever zones is on the H1. If you're on the M15, all right, and there's a zone in front of you, but not on the H1, you're taking your trade off of the M15, follow what the M15 says. All right, only do the H1 if you're trading off of the H1. Question in the chat, wondering about funding talent and how it works. You know what, darling, I'm probably gonna have to DM me so I can send you more information on it, because that's like a mouthful to explain. But that is one of the funded account programs that is available, very similar to like FTMO. But DM me and then I can remind me by DMing me so I can tell you more about it. But that's like a mouthful on that one. They're not bad though. Let's see. Got you. Just didn't want you. I don't want to forget about you. Yeah. So, all right. So that's how we feeling on these GBP pairs. Let me check my indices. So yeah, playing around. Okay. Yeah. Now we in candlestick formations. See how that was engulfing, and then the next candle it shot up, and then it came back down. See, that's a candlestick formation strat. That's not necessarily to do with AIRO. So that's why I didn't really want to focus that. And now look, we got engulfing going down again. So, geez, just playing around. US 30, where are you doing? Talk to me, US. Oh my gosh, same thing, engulfing, going down. Wow. Okay. They're all doing the same thing at the same time. That's interesting to see. That doesn't happen often. All of them engulfing, going down. Let me there was no news. I don't know why they're doing that. Unless they are just really starting their melts the way it should be. Tech stocks are falling. Yeah, they totally have. I'm going to go back to S&P on the H1. All right. So S&P did this melt, and then it did this up move. Okay. So if I want to measure this up move, I see I already have my fib here. So technically, let me get rid of this for a second. Get rid of my fib. Where is this? I don't know where it begins, so I'm going to get rid of it and redraw now. And then get rid of that. And then delete it. Get off. There. Now redraw my fib. And I'm going to start from this low. And I'm going to go to this high. Right up there. Okay. All right. So 24 fib level, don't count it. 38 fib level, valid retracement. And then we have these 2 zones here off the H1. All right. So as it's coming down, I'm just going to watch and see what it does. All right. So today being Thursday, it might just melt out the sky, which is what I really wanted to do, honestly, because I have not had a swing trade on S&P for like almost 2 weeks now. All this playing around it's been doing. And I missed this, yesterday, because I missed that because I was doing other stuff, right? So I really need that thing to come on down and just give me what I need so I can hop in next week. Why isn't there a candle on the US 30 with the 15-minute time frame? I'm assuming you mean going down. Not sure. Not sure. You know, these arrows will appear based on whatever is configured for them. You know, so besides just the crossing of the MAs or besides price closing underneath an arrow, that doesn't always mean, excuse me, comes underneath that MA doesn't necessarily mean an arrow is always going to appear, but I see what you're saying. There's a while, but there has to be something else that's coded within AIRO to generate the actual alert, and that's just not being triggered right now, unfortunately. So I can see it though. That let me see, US 30 on the M15. Whoo, I ain't even got it down on that yet. So that's interesting. So I'm zooming all the way out. Yeah, I know. It's like it's like nothing between that and the next support zone. So I could actually, this will be the first time, not the first time, but this is actually a beautiful move to draw on the M5 of fib. And up here, look at that. Come here, thing. I can't get my arrow thing to pop up. I don't know why, but oh well. That's close enough, I guess. You see how it's dropping now? So actually now with that straight power move right there, I actually have my fib on the M5. There's my little dot. And move it up a little bit. Come on, get up there. Right on that wick. I'm trying to make sure I get that wick, but it does not want to let me get that wick up there. Oh well, okay. Don't give me the wick then. But now that I'm on the M5 and it's dropping down like that, I'm actually gonna just watch it now and see if I can see a candlestick formation off of my fib to get in. That's what I'll do on the M5 now on US 30 as it's dropping. As long as it's I'm zoomed out and we have more support, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 resistance, you know, so it's still more support than resistance. As long as I don't have another resistance zone appear, if I can catch another support going back up, I zoomed in more. You see it's very bearish. If I can catch another support going back up, I'll feel a lot happier about that. And to the zone is where we'll go. But you see the AIRO MA has crossed over that 200. And not in the best time. Not the best time. We'll see what happens. All right. Gold off the H1. Hey, sissy. Gold off the H1. Well, sissy, you know, gold off the H1. That thing just melted off the face of the planet. I drew that yesterday. Well, I drew this rib today. I called this yesterday. And then it had massive pullback. You see that? Ooh, that hurt some people. And that drawdown. And then it melted out the sky. Like gone. M5, that was like, oh, okay, darling. You said M5. I got you. Okay. Okay. But I just want to say that went out the sky. Like, just gone. Gold was gone. But also, I'll just say this before I go down to the M5. I mentioned this before. I don't know if I did it on this call or not, but look at the daily on gold. Okay. And look at that AIRO MA and the 200 MA. And I'm just going to get the fib off of here for a second so you guys can see what I'm talking about. When that Strat 9 video came out, I was looking for those crosses, you know, the AIRO MA and the 200 EMA cross on the lower time frames, you know, would signify something different. But look at how close they are. And I've been mentioning this like for the past couple of days now since that Strat 9 video came out. This seems to me very crucial in the sense of why that gold melt is occurring or may continue to occur. Okay, massive uptrend off of the daily, massive. All right, and if you're one of those people that can swing daily, boom, bounce, arrow, go for months. By the way, this is months. Swap charges on that thing must be horrendous. But you know, if you can hold it, hey, hold it. You know what I mean? But Look at the massive pullback. And then as you can see, it's getting closer and closer. And this support zone is weak. You know, thing is going to get broken. So I anticipate maybe next week you might still can see a melt in gold. Hey, Nate. I am so sorry, Nate. I do not know how to bring people up on the panel, so my bad. I don't, and I wasn't anticipating hosting this call, so hopefully everybody's still doing okay with it today. Besides that darn S&P trade. Um, oh, okay. Thanks, Julian. By the way, thank you for the DM, Julian. I'm going to check those out. He sure did. Nate went to bed late. So anyway, y'all, so I wanted to leave you guys. I swing trade mostly. And again, we're still waiting on those indice trades to pop up or something. I'll go to the M5 on gold, but I'm anticipating a massive, massive melt. And just drawing the fib on this really quickly, y'all going to be like, she draws that fib on every single time. Yes, I do. I don't trade without this thing. Okay, especially on a swing. But look at the massive, massive movement of gold. Okay, remember a couple of months ago, everybody's like, hey, gold's going to hit 2100. Is it going to pass 2100? And then it stopped and then it came back down. Okay, as it's retracing down, you notice that it just hit the 38. Like it came down, touched the 50, went back up again. You got up arrows for a couple of days, and then it came back down again. And now it looks like it's going to bust this again. Let it come down to the next support, let it come back up again. I'm just giving y'all tips on how you could possibly swing trade gold off of the daily chart. But with these two MAs crossing over, the melt is going to be beautiful. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I just feel bad that there's not a lot of trades going on today. I mean, oh, there you go. Thank you, Nate. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
I bagged 127 pips on this S&P 500 melt that I called on on London session last night.
Nice. You know what? Better than what we did because I hit stop loss today.
So let me ask you, you probably took the bag entry, right?
I did. And you know what though? But I'm okay. Yes, I'm gonna shut up. Yes.
I'm just assuming, yeah, because so I want you to mark on the chart my entry.
Okay. You took this, or can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what my entry is. I want you to mark it with the horizontal line.
All right.
So that everyone can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to explain why I entered in there, but this is the new and improved institutional investing strategy that I've learned. So 3912.93.
3912.93. That would be like right here, I think. That's 3913. 3912.93. Move it down a little bit. Right about there. All right.
And I entered in on that wick. So look at that melt from that wick.
Yeah, right here. I see it.
Right?
Oh, okay.
The reason why I entered in right there, based on the strategy. So I got this new institutional investing strategy. Now I didn't take it to the full move. I took it 1 to 2.5. In the ratio, because the stop loss would have been the top of the green candle to the left.
This one.
Correct. That one.
Okay, got you.
40 pip stop loss. I took it for 127 pips, 100 pips, because I caught some pips earlier. No, not wick over the arrow line. It's not that easy. Trust me, it's a lot more complicated. I see Ben says wick over the arrow line. No, it's a lot more complicated than that. A lot more, but it's very simple to use. So that bag entry, though, if you look at it, the overall trend right now on S&P 500 is a buy trend. So that bag entry actually was invalid.
What? This one right here, going up?
No, the actual bag. Did you guys take the bank deduction or the bag entry?
No. This zone just appeared. It wasn't there earlier. Like it just appeared, and that's why I had for some reason my support zone wasn't there, but normally is when it looks like that for me. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go up anyway. But this resistance zone that's on the M5 That wasn't there. It literally just popped up. And I don't know if it's maybe my I don't know if it's maybe my broker thing or whatever, but sometimes I have a delay in zones where people have zones and I don't have zones. But that could also be we're on different brokers. But I know some people where I have the same broker and we're on different zones too. So I don't know. So it could be something with my stuff. So that might be my issue, not an overall issue. But
Oh, no worries, no worries.
cool. But now that you done said that, I'm mad because you caught this and you caught all that, and you just now telling us that ain't fair.
It's not a strategy. So this is a strategy that will be shared with the once it's perfected. Because the who I'm learning it from, I'm part. You guys know I always partner with great traders, and they don't use it on MT4. They actually this strategy is on US 30. I'm sorry, on TradingView. So they trade on TradingView. So I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate it on a more consistent basis with with MT4 and with AIRO, so that it can be used. Because this is be a strategy that that the FTMO, so all the funded traders, those get funded, they will have access to this strategy. For those that pass, as you guys know, we have the exclusive groups. So you got the crypto group; they're going to have their exclusive strategy. The indices group going to have their exclusive strategy, which this will be for indices, as well as for the funded group. They will have their exclusive strategy, which will be this one as well. So there'll be two strategies, and the crypto and funded group will have theirs, and then the other group, the crypto group, will have their strategy. So there'll be two different strategies that they only will receive. So definitely, guys, practice, practice, practice. Follow the rules. Get your pips up. Get a funded account. Come join one of these exclusive groups. Get access to some higher level strategies. That will only allow you to become a better trader. You don't need it. You guys know, for those who follow me on London session, we are up 3.2% this week, just using basic strategies, the basic 1 through 9 strategies we have that are out right now for AIRO. So I'm taking the free trial right now, Jackie, because we got NFP next week. So after NFP week, I'll go ahead and pay for the real verification with FTMO and go ahead and get this thing rolling.
Nice. And I'm mad now. You know what? Because you called this as a bank induction, and that's literally what happened, but it wasn't a bank induction at the time. That's
correct.
Interesting to see that. So
yeah, and I wouldn't even have traded it as a bank induction because, again, the trend is still up. So if the trend was down, that would be a valid bank induction, but the trend is up. To be, as you zoom out, you'll see the M5 is there's actually more green zones than red zones. So only reason I took this trade was based on the other strategy that I used. It's a little more. It's an institutional investing strategy. So it looks at a few things here. But shout out to the group. I see we got over 100 people on the call.
Yeah, it was. We've been going through some things and looking for trade setups, and a lot of them are at zones or they are not following the trend. So that's what we're dealing with here in U.S. session. So basically, what I've been doing, if a setup happens, so that S&P one unfortunately did not go through the way we anticipated, so it hit stop loss. But now you can see why it did that. But I chalked that up to the 1 out of 2, the 1 out of 2 of 10 that would just not be winners, and I still maintain my 80% accuracy. But we just been going through stuff, so we setting up swings and talking about H1 trade. I feel like I got a lot of converts to the H1 time frame. Lots and lots of converts. Nicholas is asking, where do we get more info on joining exclusive groups? DM Nate.
So the crypto group is the only group. I want to say so if you go to the AIRO bag chat, there are actually all the rules to join the two groups. There's only 2 out of the 3 groups I've created right now, and that's the crypto group and the funded group. They're pinned to the top of the channel. So if you go to the channel, they're pinned to the top. You can see all the rules. So crypto group, you need to catch a minimum of 10,000 pips, and it needs to be on a real account. You need to hook your account up to a MyFXBook link so I can verify it, and then I'll let you in. Same thing with the indices group, 10,000 pips minimum. Hook it up to a MyFXBook link so I can see that it's a real account and all that good stuff, and see that you caught it on the actual on the actual what do you call it? On the actual
This
real
one,
account,
yeah.
and then funded group for funded group, you usually gotta get funded. So if you're doing a free trial or going through the verification, you can join the free group for the funded and learn more. But those who actually get funded for real and pass the real verification, they will have their own exclusive group. Right now, we've got about 10 people that already have funded accounts, anywhere from 10,000 up to 100,000. So those are that's how you can actually gain access to the funded groups.
Nice. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah.
Milton's asking, where's the AIRO bag chat? Milton, DM me and I'll shoot you the link. Or matter of fact, I'll put it in
Whoever
the.
signs you up should be able to give you that link. So whoever signs
Yeah,
you up should be able to give you that link.
yeah. Look at y'all. I was asking about all these funding stuff. Minimum funding amount. I don't know what
Actually,
that means, Necklace. What you asking that? What's that? Explain your question. I don't see anything in the chat. Everybody quiet in the chat. 'Cause they look, you come on the call, and everybody quiet. But anyway, I'm scanning, looking around. That's an interesting move that you did. But let me check my oil. I ain't even checked my oil today, y'all. Let's see here. Ooh, that went up, came down, false move, down, retracement. I should be getting another up on my M15 here soon. That's nice. So we'll wait for that. Oh, gold. Somebody asked me to go to the M5 on gold. My bad, sissy. Hold on. Well, sissy, what am I supposed to be seeing here, sissy? There's a melt. What you want me to look for, sissy? Look at that melt. Unless you're telling me that you caught it, that's what's up. Let's see. Oh, Nicholas is asking, is there a minimum dollar amount one needs to show in their funded account to join the group? Nate?
nope.
Nope.
The lowest amount I believe you can get funded for is 10K. So
Yep.
if you got a 10K funded account and you're approved, uh, that's all I need to see.
Yep. Julian's asking for us to look at US 30. What you want us to see, Julian? That thing is melting out the sky. Oh, that's why he wanted us to look at it. I remember. He wanted to ask about why we didn't get an AIRO alert yet on it. That's what he's asking. Even though we got like 2 on the M5, but like on the M15 or the M30 with as you can see, it's a huge melt, but there's no AIRO alert. That's what he was asking earlier. And I was telling him that sometimes it just doesn't appear if all the triggers in the coding of it are not triggered. But I will let you speak on that if I was out of place on that.
No, that's right. I mean, there are certain triggers that have to happen. If you look at, I'm looking at US 30 right now in the 5-minute. You can see there's been 3 consecutive down arrows.
Yes, those were strange to me. Has that happened before? I've never seen 3 consecutive down arrows, so that threw me off when I saw that.
The second 2 were pullbacks. You can see there's retracement. You see, the
yep,
first one
see
was
that.
a move. That's one move, and then the next 2 you can see price pulled back, then it went back down. Price pulled back, then it went back down. So those second 2 were all based on the pullback strategy, or the continuation. So there's 3 ways that arrows pop up. You have the first arrow on US 30. I'm sorry, the second arrow inside the money zone, which is the up arrow. That is man, US 30 is just falling.
Yeah, I know, out the sky, to the center of the earth.
My S&P trade, if I would have stayed in, I'd be up over 250 pips right now. Golly.
No need to brag. No need to brag.
I'm upset about not staying in because I was supposed to stay in for a 1-to-5 ratio based on the strategy, but I don't have no patience. So I got out halfway through. But so that first up arrow, or the only up arrow, I'm sorry, the second up arrow, the one that's into the zone right now, 4 arrows ago, that is one of the strategies. That is the counter trend strategy that's built into the software. The next arrow after that one, the first down arrow after that one, is the trend confirmation strategy. And then the next 2 are trend continuations. So those are the 3 types of strategies that I have that are built into the software. When price is trending strongly, after you've gotten arrows, you're not gonna see another one. It's bye-bye. You should have already been in. So if you're in late, you just missed the boat on that one. So it's just a matter of now you're waiting for a price to turn around.
I see. And I would be the only other way I've seen that. Okay, so I just got thrown by the 3 arrows in a row. I was looking just for the 2. But then I see that this is also a bounce off of a zone, then maybe that, but that's why I got thrown off with that. But I would be hesitant to come down to the M1 and try and catch that trend on US 30 anyway. Since it moves so fast and so volatile, I have not been completely practiced on M1 on the US 30, except for another strategy. But that would be the only way I could see you possibly trying to get in on this melt, since it's not happening on the higher time frame, unless you get but know that we're in a retracement, y'all. So, this is the M15 looking like it's just coming down. Oh, it just bounced off that 50 fib line too. And it did not close under this 200 EMA yet. But once it does, let it keep going. And then just kind of look for it that way too, you guys. Thank you for that, Nate, though. I forgot about your 3 ways. I was only thinking of 2.
Yeah, the reason why those last 2 popped up are mainly due to the fact that you see that pullback. There's multiple pullbacks.
Yeah.
So that those last 2 arrows were all based off of one of the strategies, which is the continuation. So gave you just 2 entries because price pulled back twice.
Cool. All right. Oh, you know what? While I have you on here, and this was a question that came up when about the zones and when they appear, or how do they appear. I was originally trying to count touches for a zone to appear, but it differed, or I wasn't keeping track well enough. Is there a certain amount of touches in order for a zone to appear, whether resistance or support?
Not necessarily. It's based on a lot of other factors. So
okay,
without giving away, no.
Okay.
You get, I guess, at this point, I mean, it's going to give you that based off of multiple things. So there's
Gotcha.
multiple factors that go into why the zones pop up and don't pop up.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That answered my question. If somebody's asking, is it still safe to take gold sell now? Following the rules, yes, if you follow them. What time frame are you looking at? Because I'm looking at the M5. I don't even see, it ain't nowhere near where it might generate an alert. So that's a long time. It depends on the time frame. I would just follow the rules of the time frame. Don't chase trades. Okay. If we're not catching one today, it's okay. You still got tomorrow, and it just might not be today. Don't chase trades though. Still take the trades according to the rules of the strategy. So if you're on the M5, you're looking for bag entry trades, follow the trend of the M5 and wait for your alert to take your trade. Same thing on no matter what time frame you're on, just follow the rules of the strategy. So I wouldn't necessarily say, whether it's safe to get in or not. It's only safe to get in if you're following the rules. Let's see. One other question here. When you swing trade, yay, how do you feel about leaving trades open over the weekend? I do not. I do not leave them up over the weekend. And do you tend to stop taking trades on Thursday afternoon? Yes, I do. David, I feel like we might be mutual connected mind traders. No, I don't. I really try not to trade on Thursday afternoon. Technically, I'm usually out the markets on Tuesday anyway. I'm just on here with y'all having fun. But yeah, I don't really look for trades, only because I feel like fake outs take place. You know what I would do on Fridays? I would scalp. That's what I would do. I wouldn't necessarily swing trade starting on Thursday afternoon or Friday. I would be scalping. I like swing trades to start Sunday evening or Monday morning, so that way they can take place and be done by Tuesday and Wednesday. They're the more profitable and the more consistently successful swing trades that I have had. including being on the indices. So, and I don't like to hold trades over the weekend because things can happen. News still happens over the weekend, so that can affect things. Uh, do you hold trades over the weekend, Nate?
Never. I'm
Okay.
um, I'm a scalper, so I'm in and out. Hopefully in a couple hours or less. Really, hopefully in 15 minutes. I'm trying to get in and out on the first candle. So no, I don't over the weekend. I don't like paying additional fees. Those swap fees make me mad. I don't like paying fees.
Same, same. Is there a written breakdown of the rules for different time frames? There is.
All that is coming out. I've
Yeah.
got the so when strategy 10 drops the video, you guys should see it today or tomorrow, the latest, depending on how fast they can get it edited and uploaded. Then I'm finalizing all the strategies onto a PDF so that they can go ahead and brand it with the AIRO software, AIRO logo and all that. And then what we'll do is, we'll release that once everything is complete. So you guys should be seeing that sometime early to mid next week. The PDF is going to have all 10 strategies, and then there'll be a couple, pages of additional notes, like best pairs to trade during certain time frames. So during London session, during New York session, things of that nature. So all your questions, will be on there, and anything else we need to add, we'll just look to add later on. So it'll be a working document. So if you guys need something, we'll continue to add it there. That way, it's always written. And of course, I'm going to also re-record every video that I've made. That way, the videos are recorded as well. And that way, you guys get the most up-to-date information. Because as I've spent more time trading with you guys, I've learned more about what you guys, what type of questions you ask and need and information you'd like to have. So I'm going to also re-record every video all over again, except for the overview. So I'm going to re-record the setup video, and then all 10 strategies. I'm going to re-record all those videos again.
Nice. So I'm looking forward to Strat 10. Is that we're only having 10 strategies, right? That's all the only ones that we're doing videos on?
Uh, at the moment, who knows what
Cool.
happens in the future? You never know.
Cool. Sharice is asking, hopefully I pronounced your name right, darling. I'm sorry if I didn't. I don't mean to butcher people's names. She said she was looking at the charts today. What does it mean when you have 3 red zones and 3 green zones? You zoomed all the way out? It means they're even. The trend is, I guess you could say, was that be considered a sideways trend? Trend has not been established.
Yes, but what pair are we talking about? Because you could see an opportunity where there's 50 pips or more in between the two inside zones, which means part of the rules is you can actually trade in both directions at that point.
That's only on currency pairs, or that apply to anything?
Everything.
Ah, see, because we had that earlier, but it was on an index, and I wasn't sure if that rule applied to that.
Yep.
There we go. Boom, everybody. See, next time we on here, I'm gonna take that trade. Thank y'all. See, Nate came on here for a reason. Hopefully they answer your question, Sharice, though. Let me know if it didn't. Valdez was asking, what pairs do we swing trade? Well, Nate just said he don't swing at all.
You can swing all of them. I mean, strategy number, so with strategy number 8, which is Jackie's strategy, the Fibonacci strategy, and strategy number 1 on the higher time frame, so H1, H4 will allow you to intraday and swing trade, anything you want to trade. So I believe my brother from another mother last night, let me go back and find his name, Mr. Dwayne. He actually was on the 4-hour chart, and he caught some nasty pips. He caught over 70 pips, I believe, off of EUR JPY buy on the H4. On the H4. So
that's nice.
Looking at it right now, yeah, he caught about 70 pips, 69.
Oh wow.
So his entry was at 128.699.
Oh, here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he was trading price action.
Yep. Look at that. All that entire candle, that ain't fair. That's a beautiful move. You see how quiet it is, y'all? We on the M15s on everything, and it's quiet. Ain't nobody moving. Everything's either melting or gone to the sky, depending on which one it was.
Mr.
But
Brown,
interesting.
Mr. Brown, you said he caught 288 pips to G Chef on G Chef.
On a weekly swing. Go ahead, man.
That's a heck of a move right there.
Yes, it is. That's what's up. Um, well, I'm looking up for my indice swing trade to happen. That would be nice. So I'm looking at Sunday night. We're gonna be swinging after this melt is done, which is good. That's what I want. I want the melt to happen, but I'm only gonna do it on S&P because S&P owes me money now. And look at Nas. Oh yeah. Okay. Here's the other thing. Every time I'm on these calls, and people be laughing at me, so don't be coming for me, y'all. Okay. But every time I'm on these calls, this one candlestick formation keep happening, and I don't know what to call it, Nate. So
What is it?
what's this thing when it has this long tail and it's like almost a full box, a full candle at the top? What is that? What is this called?
I don't know. I don't recall anything.
Oh my! It's like somebody said it's like a hammer, but it's not called a hammer. It's
No,
another one.
a hammer's got a long tail and a
Yeah,
small body at the top with
yeah,
either
yeah.
a very small wick at the top or no wick at the top.
Mhm,
And a hammer would be at the bottom of a downtrend. Um,
mhm.
for me, that's like if you look at the candle, it's got the arrow on it right next to it. That right there, that's a bearish engulfing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, that would be that. Okay, I
But
was
I don't.
just curious.
That's
I
not a
see
hammer.
this.
Definitely not a hammer. Hammer is my favorite. That's not a hammer. I'll tell you that.
Okay, no, it's not a hammer. I mean, there's another word though, but if it's the opposite direction, I can't remember now. Okay, it says something with a tail, and don't come
Oh,
for me, y'all.
that kangaroo tail.
Yeah, I think that's what somebody had called. Okay, so you heard that too. Okay.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it. I'm not. That's not one I really studied or heard much about. So I've got to go back and do some research on that one.
I've been hearing it a lot, and it seems to appear quite often. Um, Somebody said harami. See, y'all throwing out words that I have not looked at. You know what? I've been telling people on here, candlestick formations is engulfing. Yeah, that. Or the railway. When you pointed out the railway pattern to me that one time, I was like, what is he talking about? And then I went and researched it. I said, oh. And then you came out with the fib video utilizing the railway pattern as an entry point. It's like, all right, bet. That's what I use consistently now, either engulfing or railway patterns. That's what I
Yeah,
use.
they're powerful.
Yeah. Just looking at the Q&A real quick. You can't exit your alert box many times a day and it causes your system to freeze. I don't know what's going on with that, my dear. You mean your alert box keeps coming up and it doesn't allow you to click out of it quickly enough? I don't know what that is. I haven't had that issue. Mm, have you? I'm not sure what I would recommend for you on that, darling.
Submitted tickets.
Yeah, it would have to be a ticket. See what's going on with your VPS or your
Make sure
system.
you also have rebooted your VPS, both from inside the VPS and from the website. Also, ensure that you have done your Microsoft updates as well.
Yes, weekly. Do them weekly. Just make it a habit. Um, let's see here. I'm just looking at everything in the Q&A, nothing in there. Looking in the chat because we're waiting on alerts. Okay, on kangaroo tails. Thank you, Valdez. I'm not crazy. I heard that kangaroo tail. I know somebody shouted it out to me. I just see it often, but I see it. I should basically focus on it since I see it so much. But um, I got so much going on. I ain't got time to learn new candle formation yet. Let me focus on the ones I got so I can keep them down. Um, let's see here. So we've been talking about the fibs. I only put the 24 level on here because somebody asked me to, but I did tell people, and I will reiterate, that Nate does not have that level on his fibs. He doesn't use it. I only put it on there because somebody asked me to, and I actually take mine off too. So, matter of fact, let me take it off now so I don't confuse myself and edit it and get rid of it. Fib, edit, and 24. Get out of here, 24. There you are. Goodbye. And now you're gone. There you go. All right. So yeah, fib level 0, 38, 50, 62, 79, 100. Those are the fib levels. Custom by Nate. So looking at that US 30, woo, this is beautiful movement. Come on back up so you can come back down again so I can get in on the rest of this melt. And NASDAQ, same thing. Let me look at NAS on the H1. And then I'm going to go down to the M5. It's still hovering around. Came off of that. Didn't really touch that support. Didn't really touch it, like by the hair of its chinny chin chin. But it's coming back up. So that would be nice if it comes back up again. We got a sub question in the Q&A. Hello, dear. Nate, it's going to be for you, brother. For Strat 9 with the 200 MA. On your video, you're showing it's being used on a 15-minute time frame. Does it work only for the 15 minutes or any other time frame? Can it be used on any other time frame? And do you recommend any other time frames?
I only recommend the 15-minute. Here's why. The individual that I learned how to trade the market maker method, he was taught by a market maker. And the market maker taught him that they trade predominantly on the minute 15 time frame.
Well, shoot. There you go. Answers my question too. M15 it is, everybody. Don't deviate from what works.
But now, if you want to back test yourself and you see that it works on the 5-minute, the H1, whatever, then do it. Put in your work. My rules are just basic guidance of how I trade, and for those who want to use it. But then again, as you guys follow some of the rules and strategies and get good, you'll start to see things that you may want to try other ways. Jackie trades different than I do. Coach Mo trades different than I do. The Hawkeye group trade different than I do. Dante trades different than I do. So if people that have got in front of you guys trade different than I do. They use some of the strategies. Everyone uses the base foundation of bounce, arrow, go, but and some of the other strategies, but they have their own ways of trading, and they found how to incorporate that with AIRO. So as you learn how to trade with the strategies given, take that to the next level, and start adding your own flavor to it. I've got another strategy we may be launching. As a guy, he passed a free trial with FTMO with a whole brand new strategy that I'm still amazed. He's got to walk me through exactly how he's doing it. I know the basis of it, but just to make sure I understand all the rules. And if it's something that I can duplicate, hey, we may have to drop it off in a group. So
nice.
There's strategies out there. If you got one and it works for you, knock it out.
Absolutely. I did. In something else yesterday, we were going over the Asian session breakout and the money zone breakout. And people were asking me about that. And I was like, you know what? Y'all ain't right for asking me about this because y'all know I don't be awake for the London session to do those. However, one thing that I did notice, and this was on GU. Actually, this is why I'm on GU right now. This was on GU yesterday. I saw, and I said, look at this beautiful money zone breakout that took place yesterday during Asian session. And I don't know why, because I don't recall any news happening, but that led me to, because I know normally this is what we were doing. Somebody asked about the money zone. So for shout out for you guys don't know the money zone breakout, that is strategy number 4 video. Okay. You would mark off, you're following the trend, number 1. Okay. And on GU, the trend was up. All right. So when it's up, make it easier on myself, I just mark off the high of the money zone. And then when price breaks above the high in the first candle in the new money zone and breaks above the money zone from the previous day, as long as you got 20 pips to the next zone, take the trade 20 pips. That would have been, this candle is the first candle that closed in the money zone above the previous money zone.
No, the previous one did. The previous one, that little doji was the first one. But that's the start of the money zone. That one right there.
This one for me is.
You don't like this?
No, on my money zone, that's like at 1 a.m. Is it okay at 1 a.m. Or
that's when the money zone starts.
oh, okay. I wouldn't have thought that. It was because this was like, I guess the 45 candle closing at 1 a.m. Okay. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking 1 a.m. and beyond. Huh?
Let me double check my chart. Let me look at my chart real quick. Hold on real quick.
Well, I'm glad you're bringing this up right now, though, because I'm finna go back and back test this.
There's one caveat to it. You know, that huge news, I'd have left it alone. That came up. If you guys want to learn how to, definitely want to learn it. Get up on the calls. I am up for London sessions. We trade strategy number 3 and 4. We trade mainly 3, and we win a lot of trades with 3. 4, we talked about that a lot last night. I don't trade 4 very often, but we have traded it, and I don't think we've lost a strategy 4 trade. But let me look here. So that candle for me is that's the 8 o'clock candle. So when that one closes, I would have entered in on that next one.
Okay, right. This one right here. Right here.
Yeah, I would have entered in on that one at the beginning of that one.
Got you.
It ran up 44 pips. So you got your 20 pips.
Yes. Okay. That was this one right here. All right. So as long as, so technically when that 12:45, I'm talking about Eastern time, when the 12:45 candle closes and it's above that previous day money zone, next candle take the trade. Okay, cool. Yes, because you would have got in right here and got in. All right, cool. Good on that. This was what threw me off. And I don't recall there being any news that night. So I was like, what is this? I actually saw this happen a couple of times during the Asian session. So Squad is actually going to go back, and they're all back testing this to see if money zone strategy could be applied during the Asian session. So we'll let you know what we find out. I told them to focus on the GBP pairs first too, by the way. So
strategy number 3 is for GBP pairs only.
Yes.
And strategy number 4 is for Forex pairs.
Yes. And so we were trying technically to, because clearly this is not Asian session breakout strategy because of the bodies being more than 50 pips, but they wanted to try the money zone since it broke the money zone. And I was like, that's interesting.
So I've tested it out significantly.
Oh, you have already? Okay.
With the breakout before you get into the money zone. So, and it's a 50-50 toss-up. 50% of the time I was winning, 50% of the time I was losing. So probably 40 pips stop loss. I had a significantly higher win ratio when you wait until the actual money zone. That's why the rule is wait for the first candle inside the money zone to break above.
Got it.
Room, you have the best opportunity to catch that trade.
Cool. All right. Well, Squad was listening. No need to test it. He already did that way.
Cool. Everything I bring out to you guys has been thoroughly back tested. Interesting. See here, we thought we was getting ready to come up with a new strategy. Okay. If you guys have your hand up, you don't have to put your hand up. Just put your question in the Q&A and we'll read it off. All right. Hey, I got an alert. GU as a sell. Well, we're in an uptrend. That would not work. You got a couple of alerts. That's all up in the zone on an uptrend. I got a GU.
Yeah. Is that now? Would you think that would that be a bank induction? Because that's a candle all up in the zone.
On GU? Let me go look.
Yep.
We're in an uptrend. So I would normally take this if the indices weren't melting.
Okay. I was just about to say I don't know about this one. Okay.
Yeah, they're melting right now. USD is a pair. As you can see, the indices melted. Look at the last 5-6 candles of GBP USD. So it's headed up, trying to break through that zone. Then it just reversed at London at New York session open. So
yeah,
it's a pair that is affected by USD news, and that USD news was was bullish. I'm sorry. Yeah, bullish. That's
Bearish.
why you see, that's why you see, the pound pair now weakening against the dollar. This is
Mm-hmm.
what we're looking at right now. So I wouldn't take that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. But based on
Mm-hmm.
the rules, you got the W, V, V. I see a W. I see my V. Based on the rules, you can take it and make sure you got 20 pips room to the next zone. Based on the rules, we should be in the buy right here with 20 pips.
There's plenty of pips.
Yep. So based on the rules, yes, you can take this trade. But again, you also want to understand the sentimental value. I mean, not sentimental, the fundamental analysis as
Mm-hmm.
well. So there's technical analysis, what we do on the chart, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
fundamental analysis, what is actually going on with the news, understanding what's going on in the economy, things of that nature. So I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily take that, but based on the rules, you could. Another reason why I wouldn't take it from a technical analysis standpoint is once we got inside of the money zone, price
Mm-hmm.
just went sideways. It's not
Mm-hmm.
trending upward. It just went. It just started going sideways. So you could take this and catch 20 pips, but I personally wouldn't take it. That's just my personal.
Mm. That's cool. I was just, I understand. I wasn't gonna take it. I was gonna I rarely get a chance to talk to you and your thought processes, so I'm taking full advantage, y'all.
I
Just
mean,
letting y'all know.
you got to get on that London session with us. Coach Mo got on with us last night.
Man, y'all, I'm
You see, I'm
sleepy.
up for London. I mean, in New York, I've been up since 7:30. I
Really?
took a little quick little,
Took a
what,
little nap.
3 hour nap, and I was up at 7:30.
I'm tempted. You gonna be on there tonight, huh? Ain't you? You do a early Friday morning one, right?
Yep, tonight's call is the last London session for the week. So we do three. So it'll be our third one tonight.
I might just pop in and see what's up. Maybe I'll see what y'all doing. I like that money zone strategy. I really do. Really like that.
Oh
So
yeah.
I might
Good stuff.
pop in there.
Last night we caught 110 pips. So we caught a strategy number 7 trade for gold, so a wedge strategy,
Mm,
and then we caught G odd for a we missed strategy 4
mm-hmm.
but we caught a strategy 3, so we used strategy 3, and then we used
Mm,
strategy 3 on GJ, but we got out at like 1 pip in profit because of once I entered the trade in, I went back and looked at it on the monthly. We were at a 3-year high. And
mm,
so if you go back and look, our
mm.
entry, we got out and literally it reversed on us. And GJ is now, let me look at from our entry, GJ is GJ from our entry, GJ dropped 41 pips.
Mm.
We just took a stop loss out. So we got out. And the reason I got out because we were at the 3-year high. So for those who don't know, Forex pairs repeat over and over again. Jackie talks about it. I hear her talk about it on the calls about not really using fibs too much on the cryptocurrencies because there's not enough historical data. So therefore, the system is not proven when it comes to fibs to consistently work on the cryptocurrencies like it does on forex pairs because forex pairs have been around the longest. If you guys don't know, the foreign exchange market is the oldest financial market in the world. And so if you see there at the start of that red zone, that first wick inside the zone right there, we got in on that right there at the
Mm.
start of that candle,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got out 2 candles, three candles later, where it went back up. Yeah, that candle right
Mm-hmm.
there. We got
Mm-hmm.
out 1 pip in profit, and you see it just melted from right there. And again,
Mm-hmm.
that zone was not there. We were clear skies. But if you go on a monthly chart, look at it. That the last time April 18th, 2000. I'm sorry, April 19th, 2018 was the last time price was that high.
Mm-hmm. I see
It
it.
was a 3-year high, and so we didn't know. That's the reason we got out in that trade at that
Ma-
time.
Makes sense. Interesting. Oh, is there something in the chat? Let me see. Oh, somebody was just saying they were on the call last night, straight through in the morning. Look at y'all. Y'all some power
Man,
traders.
them London traders, man, they always up. I see them trading after I get off. I see them keep talking, and I see them on. If I do join a New York session, they're on here as well. So those guys are dedicated. I mean, those guys love a trade.
Oh, they sure do. Let's
They
see
got
some.
time. It's all based on your schedule. You know, you got family, kids, you got a job. You know, it's all based on your schedule. So that's why there are 10 or there will be a 10th strategy, because all 10 strategies are there to help those who are Miss Black. Both sessions. Shout out to Miss Black there. Uh, yeah, there's 10 strategies so that you get all walks of life. So if you
Yeah.
all walks of life allows you to trade a different strategy based on your schedule. Not everybody can trade the whole night. Most days I don't.
Mm-hmm. No, I know I can. That's why I mostly swing when I'm busy. Just take a tray and let it sit there and go about my business. Um, but I'm gonna try and see if I can catch London with y'all. Oh, let's look. Oh, Q&A question. What is the RSI on your chart, and how do you implement that for your trade process or thought? You know what, Fabian? There's a long story between me and the RSI. And I ain't gonna go into it too much, but everybody that know me know I'm very stubborn, and I kind of flinged my nose at the RSI for a very long time. However, I would happen to talk to a couple of people who keep using it, and I eventually put it on my chart because I saw something else, and so I actually use it when I'm scalping with AIRO on my indices off the M1. And the levels are 70, 60, 40, and 30. Those are my RSI that I use, and I'm scalping most of the time. So I'm following the trend of AIRO. So for instance, I'm not talking to US 30. Let's go. No, I'm not talking S&P. NASDAQ, we're on good terms today with NASDAQ. So if I'm on the M1 on NASDAQ, I'm following the trend of AIRO. Now, I have not perfected this yet. Okay, so you can always practice it yourselves, but I'm on a downtrend. So anytime that it touches that 70 or even a little bit above, because sometimes NAS will go above that, just look for some sells, look for sell entries. That's all I'm doing, utilizing the RSI to help me look for sell entries prior to any AIRO alerts, but I'm following AIRO's trend. So I don't have to draw these support and resistance levels. I'm letting AIRO do that for me. So I watch AIRO's MA, and now that Nate talked about the 200 EMA, I have that on there as well. And I'm just looking, and this is basically just price action, honestly. And if I got an AIRO alert, that just makes things all the better. But that is how I'm utilizing RSI, me personally. Do you have RSI on your charts, Nate?
No,
Okay. I actually used to not to, but when
I
I
don't.
feel like it.
I was like you. I'm not a fan of the RSI.
I'm not completely sold on it yet. I
Yep.
mean, and Corey and Coach Mo will probably come for me, but I don't care. I don't know.
Yeah. Everybody trades different. Everybody got their own quirks and tweaks and strategies, and for me, it just doesn't. It doesn't. We don't compute. Hence the reason why I built AIRO. That was another reason I built AIRO. I wanted something that works for me as well. So, and for those who don't think I use it, I can I use it all the time, even when I'm not on a call with you guys. I actually feel lost without it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I always have AIRO on my charts. I don't trade without AIRO, and I don't hardly ever trade without the fib too. So if I
So
don't have them on my charts, I feel lost. I'm like, what is price doing? And candlestick formations. Um, yeah, John, I know I see you in there. Don't be trying to nag me about that RSI. Don asks, I have a customer that wants to trade stocks with AIRO. Oh, this is for you, Nate. They want to trade stocks with AIRO. Is it possible? Do they need a broker that uses MT4? Take. Go ahead,
man,
Nate.
you guys shouldn't even be doing this. So the reason why I'm up is because I was on a call with some individuals that are huge in the stock market game. We got 91 people on the call. Y'all about to get love. So Jack, let me share my screen.
Share your screen. Hold up. How do I make it so you can share your screen? Hold up.
No, just stop sharing yours so I can share
Just
mine.
stop sharing mine. Okay, hold on. Stop
I'm logged
sharing.
in. I'm
There you
logged in.
go. Okay, cool. Take it away, brother.
Let me share my screen here. I don't want to do this. I'm giving y'all some inside stuff that I'm working on that nobody knows behind the scenes.
Don't
I'm
get
gonna
in
do this.
trouble.
I'm gonna do this one time. This one time, I'm gonna do this for you guys. For the 91 that are on this call right now. Hold on, real quick. Let me get everything pulled up for you guys so I can show it to you.
We so special, y'all. Look, see, sometimes people be dropping off. They're like, oh, there ain't no trades taken. See, you don't never know. It ain't always got to be on these calls about whether we take trades or not. We supposed to be absorbing the information to make us better traders. Even though, again, I'm mad about the S&P trade and I got to make my money back. However, we got make sure we taking all the information, and you never know who will pop up on these calls. Look at that. Valdez is asking if we're full-time traders. Yes, I am. Don't do nothing. I do other stuff, but I trade full. Basically, I guess you could say that's my main source of income, trading, along with other stuff.
I'm trying to be like Jackie when I grow up, y'all.
Whatever, Nate. Don't even try it. Trying to be like you. I will tell y'all while he's bringing this up, I think I might have mentioned it on another call. When I first met Nate on by the way, we never met each other face to face yet in person. But when I first met Nate on a call, I don't even think he remembered this. But this was out of the beta test group, and he had a Zoom session. So the same thing, y'all get y'all little London session with him. He had a little session with the Zoom on the beta test group. And when I started asking him questions, I said, can you show me how to mark your high and low of the day? I asked this question to him back in like August 2020. Nate probably rolled his eyes and was like, what you mean? Draw the trend line to show the high and the low of the day. You want to know why, y'all? Because I never cared about highs and lows of the day. I never cared about support and resistance zones. You know, all of that came with utilizing AIRO and Nate just not knowing that he's teaching that stuff. But I survived 4 years just using like moving average crossover strategy. That's it. And like 4 years trading with that. But with AIRO, I catch more pips, more consistent, more profit, and have a greater knowledge of market structure than I ever had in my 4 years of trading. So that is why I don't trade without AIRO on my charts anymore. Take it away, brother.
Ooh-wee. That's powerful right there. So you guys probably wonder what this is on my chart. This is Facebook. So I was on a call with some people that I'll leave nameless, to put it that way. They wanted to see the tool work on options. So I can tell you, I've now taken 18 trades now. I think I took 17 last year. For 2 weeks, I just took trading options with the big tech stocks and all that. And I went 17 out of 17. I am now 18 out of 18 now. I have not lost a trade yet, trading options with the tool. So at the beginning of the day, we saw what? We saw Facebook. So the end of the day was right here. This new line starts at the beginning of the day. So Facebook, at the end of the day, we had a bounce, AIRO. So we should have been in the trade yesterday at this point. It gapped down. So we got in right around 264 range. All right. Right in this area where this blue line is at here. We have some retracing and we have the drop. All right. And so when we had that entry here, we put in one put contract. I'm not going to really explain too much about options to you guys until we actually roll the program out. All right, we put in one here to see the direction. All right, I always put one in at the very beginning of the day, especially when there's a gap. Let's see if we can catch a nice move down. We catch one move down with one, cool. If we got a pull retrace, then great. So we had a retrace, as you saw here. All right. And so at about 266 range right here. And again, I didn't put these trades in on this chart. I put these trades in on and I'll show you the results here in a minute. I put 9 more contracts in up here at the 266 range. So I have a total now of 10 contracts. All right. And you can see here, I was using at Facebook, but I was also looking at NAS 100. Yeah, that's when NAS 100 had to open, had that pullback, and then the drop. Well, why was I looking at NAS? I was looking at NAS because Facebook is part of the NASDAQ. All right. And so if the NASDAQ is dropping, which I expected these bad boys to melt, then Facebook's going to melt. And sure enough, it did. Now, I put my trades in on the Thinkorswim platform. So you can see here, I start off, this is paper money. This is a demo account as I prove out the model. I started with $100,000 last year in paper money, right? And the account value was at 100,000. My option buying power was at 100,000. You can kind of clearly see now we're at $203,000. So in my 18 trades, I'm up over 103% on that 100,000, and I haven't lost a trade yet. Now, this trade, we had a drawdown of about 26%, but you can see here for the day, I had 10 contracts that I had bought, or 10 put options that we purchased. A put option allows you to sell, make money when the price goes down. We were down, so our overall portfolio, we're up about 1% on our $200,000 account. We're up almost 1%. But on the trade, the 10 contracts that we purchased were valued at $2,740. I made $1,993 on that 2740 investment. That is a 73% ROI in a matter of, I think we held that trade for, I got out right before I got on the call. So I've been on this call maybe 30 minutes. So for an hour and a half, I was in that trade and I made 73% on that 2740. My drawdown was only at 35%. So I was only down 35% on my account. I'm not on the account, but on that investment. Because when you put in the contract, the most you can lose is what that contract is worth, 2740. So I was down 35% on that 2740, and we cashed out at 73% of that 2740 that I invested in those 10 options. Now, mind you, I could have put in a whole lot more, but it's all about risk to reward ratio. I'm not going to put in a million contracts and make a whole bunch of money. It's all about risk to reward ratio. And I'll teach all that next year, but I just want to show you guys the power of options. Hour and a half, I made $2,000, 73% return on my 2740 investment. These type of returns are how, this type of trading is how we'll be able to see GameStop returns same day. So instead of having to worry about, GameStop and AMC and being pumped up to make money, you'll be able to get these type of returns on a daily basis. So let me go ahead and stop sharing this. I know somebody's going to go ahead and share that and whatnot. So it's coming. It's coming. It's going to come in a big way. And when it comes, I guarantee you're not going to want to trade Forex no more.
I ain't. Straight up. Everybody know. I was just waiting for it to be dropped. Bye-bye indices.
Now you still might trade indices because S&P is you actually can trade options on that. I didn't, and I missed that because I was trading my for those who are following the MyFX book link for my account at night. I think we're up now. Oh man, we're up now. Let me look at it real quick. We are now up because we were only up like 6% last night. I think we're up now. Yeah, we're up now almost 14%. So we got another 8% on those 2 S&P trades, those 127 pips. I took 2 trades. Well, 3 trades. I took 3 trades today on S&P 500. And yeah, we're up another 8% just today on today's call. So I'm going to max it out. We're gonna double the account. My goal is by next Friday. So
nice.
Jack, if you don't know, I've got I've got a live account that I hooked up to I've got permission from compliance to give out the MyFX book link so that people can follow along, use it as promotional tools to show people what we're doing at night, our winning percentage, and all that good stuff. Teach them also about how to utilize MyFX book links so that you can analyze your own trades, how you trade, what types of trades you take, where you're strong at, where you're weak at, things of that nature. So we can go over that at nighttime.
Nice. That's awesome. I need to use my FX book a little bit more. I use FX Blue. That's the one I use, but
That one works too. I mean, just as long as it analyzes, your trades. Like for me, over the years, I've noticed I'm a better trader when I sell, like 20% better than I sell. My sales, I win 20% more than my buys. And majority of my trades are the pound pairs because that's what I've become so in love with over the years. As I was trained by my mentor on GBP JPY, which forced me to learn the other pairs. And so last night, as I was talking through that, I took off all the euros. So I don't even trade the 10 pairs I recommend. I don't even trade them anymore. I only trade 6 pound pairs now, cryptocurrencies, gold, and in S&P. So that's all we really look at now. Man, look at Nas just falling off a cliff.
yeah, I'm right there with you. I took off the euro pairs too. Like the only euro I got is the euro pound. Everything else is pound pairs. On euro JPY is on here because somebody asked about it, but
Yep.
I'm right there with you.
It teaches you about yourself and your trading style, and then you can do what? You can now tailor your analytical results, your statistical results to how you trade. Like I'm at a point where I may only take sales because I win so many more sales than buys. I get to the point where I'm just only gonna take sales because that way I know I'll have a higher winning percentage. So it's all about just understanding yourself as a trader.
Nice.
I
Let me
gotta let,
see.
I gotta let the 3-year-old go potty, so I'll be back.
Okay, we got like 20 minutes left. Let's see. Question in the Q&A was for both of us, but he said he'll be back. You want to get into intraday trading or swing trading, and you've been back testing some things and noticed taking entries on the M15 using the bag and switching to the H1 to see if you could hold for more pips. Thoughts about that? That's I haven't done it that way. I've usually just, if I miss something on the H1, I go down to the M15 and catch a bag there and hold it longer, knowing that the H1 alert has already taken place. However, I wouldn't necessarily use the H1 to see if I can hold longer. I would use my fib instead. I would draw your fib and let the fib levels dictate how long to hold your trade. That might be a safer way to do it versus just kind of looking at the H1 and seeing zones are not in your way and seeing if you can hold it. Because if you're taking a trade off of the M15, a zone might pop up on the M15 that you're not expecting, and you might not see it, or it might cause for you to maybe reverse and retrace and hit your stop loss and so on and so forth. So I wouldn't necessarily start with M15 and then go to H1 to figure it out. You either start with H1 alert, and if you miss it, go down to the M15 to possibly try and get in, or take the trade off of the M15, but utilize the Fibonacci maybe or if you know how to draw wedges, how Matt goes over his wedges and he uses a stick, you could use that opportunity to maybe help you hold a trade longer, or you might even get into holding it based on the trend color candles, the red and green. That might be another way to do that too. Those are just my thoughts on that. I'll leave it on here just in case Nate wants to add into it when he comes back. And then Nick, I guess I'll ask him when he comes back. I don't know if he's going to answer anything more on the stock options because he wasn't really supposed to say anything about that. But
I'm back. What's going on? What's the questions?
Oh, the first one, quick one, the stock one. How close at the money were those puts?
Can't give away the secret, so I'll release that information. There'll be multiple strategies for those who trade differently and have different levels of money and all that. There's a lot of things gonna come differently. So right now, I'm not gonna talk too much. I just want to let you guys know that yes, it works on. Like I told you guys, it works on everything. I haven't lost option trade yet, so I just want to show you guys it works on everything and kind of show you some of the results and why I took the trade I took.
I think I might like those even better because of the time when you're trading them too.
Yep. For me, the strategy would be we will only trade it. I mean, it's of course it's during New York session, so we know everyone knows Jackie's going to be on the call. But it's simply we'll start probably 30 minutes to an hour early before New York session, so we can do our analysis, and set the charts up, figure out which we want to trade. So literally, I narrowed it down from 8 stocks and 3 indices. I narrowed it down. I left all the indices up there just to see how they move, but I only focused on one stock, which is Facebook, and I only focused on one indice, which is Nas. And the reason I did that, I picked Nas again because Facebook is part of the NASDAQ. So that's all I focused on. And so, based on my analysis and, of course, the software, Bounce, AIRO, Go, we got in that trade. And it was simply a bag entry trade. So as far as everything else, we will, that'll be divulged once everything's finalized.
Cool. Thank you for that. So I take it. People were crying in the chat. They were like, "What do you mean next year, Nate? Why I gotta be next year, Nate?"
Oh, did I say next year? Oh, my
Yeah,
apologies.
you did.
I'm still a little sleepy, guys. I only had 3 hours of sleep. And I'm not going back to sleep because the 3-year-old's up, and she's definitely not going back to sleep, so I can't go to sleep on her.
So it's not next year, y'all. He misspoke. It's this year. Oh man, but that's all he's saying. So don't come for him no more, y'all. Let him finish it out, so we can get it on time and early if possible. Oh, and Fabian had a question in there. He was asking about intraday trading and swing trading, and I know you're a scalper, but he was saying that he wants to take an entry off of the M15 bag and then see if he can go to the H1 to see if he can hold it longer. And I have already given my thoughts on that, and I was saying I normally don't do it that way. I go top down. I don't go down up for trading to hold things longer, but I suggested drawing a fib to see maybe that will allow you, based on fib levels, to hold a trade longer, or the trend color candles is another way to do that as well. You got anything to add?
I would agree. No, I would agree with that. It's always been called top-down analysis. That's why, some people ask me, again, everyone trades differently. But I never look at, if I'm in a trade, I never look at the lower time frames. I don't look at them. I was never taught that way. And I've had very good success not trading that way. So it's definitely something I need to look at, because I know Coach Mo's got a peekaboo strategy. She's supposed to teach it to me so I can understand everything she's looking at, so I can understand it, to be able to help you guys out, because I know everyone asked me about it. But if you're looking to do intraday trading and swing trading, the best thing to do is to hold, is look at the higher time frame. So if you're looking at swing trading, intraday trading, I would use the H1 for most likely intraday to like a lower level swing trade. And then if you really want to swing trade, you want to do that from the H4 time frame.
Absolutely. Oh, this is a beautiful melt on US 30. Good gracious. That's wonderful. That's nice. I'm just looking, y'all. I'm just looking at what's going to do for tomorrow. I feel like it's going to bounce, go back up, and then come back down again and melt. So scalping time tomorrow for sure on US 30. I'll leave it on N5 today, though, just see what else will happen. But it's just going down. Going down. Let's see here. That's US 30. Oh, I had JBY on that monthly because of what you were talking about earlier. This is so interesting when I look at an M15 chart and I see all these, this support zone just appeared today. It wasn't like that yesterday, as we all know. But that support zone looking like that just looks so interesting with all that. These candles all up in the zone. Gold still melting. Oh, it came back up. It did a little something. So it might be reaching. Another question in the Q&A. Do either of us have a top-down analysis video on our channel so we can get an idea? I don't. Nate, do you? I don't think you do either.
No, and I'll tell you why I don't. So because of the way AIRO is created, it does your top-down analysis for you. It gives you the trend. You don't need to do top-down analysis. It's done for you. So you just follow the trend, no matter what time frame you're on. because it's done for you.
Yep. Yep. I guess I know a lot of, I guess a couple of top-down analysis videos I've seen previously to using AIRO. Most of the time, what I learned from them is just to mark off your zones. You know, to be able to mark your zones off so that you can see where your resistance and your support are. That's usually what top-down analysis is helping you do. And like what Nate says, you don't need to do that because AIRO's already marked them off for you. So you just utilize that and just kind of look what I did with daily on the gold, for instance. That's a top-down analysis I just started with. I started with the daily, gave my thoughts, and then you come down to the lower time frames to see what happens. Well, look at that. Got an H4 sell. Isn't that nice? H4 sell. I'm already in the gold and something else, though. So not here with you guys. I'm in there on another account off of the H1 from yesterday, which I was mad about. I'm just tell y'all, Squad was in that trade with me, and a couple of people were sweating because that drawdown was big. I was like, nope, it's going down. No, it's going down. This is not happening. It's just messing with us. This is what we did right here. This down arrow alert. Got it right here. You see how much pullback we had? We had pullback like a mug on this thing. I said, oh, that drawdown was horrible.
Keep in mind on trades like that, this is something for future reference. When taking a bounce, a bag entry at New York session open, you can see that because New York session open typically has fake outs. So just keep that in mind as well. Time trading during certain times can also lead to unnecessary drawdown due to the fake outs. You had the overall trend right. The software is right. It's got the trade right. It's just that at that time of day, and that's what they do to traders to fake them out. That's a market maker move right there all day long.
Yeah.
There was no reason to pull that back. But open session, pull back, the crossover to opening of the new session. Then you had the final, then it took you out. They saw all that liquidity down there. They went all the way back up, hit stop losses, freak people out. Then they said, all right, we got enough money. Now we're going to go in the right direction that we were going to we went into. I hate it. It happens all the time. That's why those who gain access to the funded exclusive group and the indices exclusive group, you will learn that strategy. And again, I'm mad I didn't show it. I didn't trade. So actually, did I close my charts? Yeah. Let me open my charts.
You want to share your screen again?
I'm going to show you on my S&P trade. I'm not going to show you the markup because it's going to give away the sauce. Because it's a very simple strategy. I mean, give or take, it's simple to execute. Let's put it that way. It is simple to execute. I'm going to mark my entry real quick so that you have that. Give me 1 second here. Let me get my entry back.
Sure.
On this chart here, my entry was at,
I think you said 39.12.73 or something like that. Let's see here. I'm just answering QA questions real quick too. Somebody asked me if I was going to do a video on my RSI strategy. Yeah, I am. Probably tomorrow. And you can just practice it, I found it works better for me on US 30 than it does on S&P. It actually works better on NAS than it does on US 30 for me. That's what I found. So I'll do a video on it and upload it on my YouTube, and then y'all know, you'll see it. So shout out to you, Valdez. And David. So same thing, David. Do I start at the 70 RSI? How far down do I go? Following the trend of AIRO, so make sure you always following the trend. So if you're in a downtrend, 70 is not where I start actually. I sell. 40 and down is where I sell. Stop loss is the 50, and then the 70 is 60 to the 70 is a buy. That's what that is. That's what I use the 70 for. But if you're in a downtrend, you don't look at that way. Follow the trend of AIRO. But I'll do a video and you'll see. I'll let you go talk because you're talking now, Nate.
Oh, definitely. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me just label these real quick.
I was close. 39, 12, 93. I said 73. See, that's how upset I was at S&P. I was listening to you. You shaking your head at yourself that you got out.
Yeah, I'm pissed. So I didn't take the full move. I was taught 1-to-5 ratio for indices and 1-to-3 ratio for forex pairs with this strategy. And so my 1-to-5 ratio, and I'll explain what I mean by the ratio and where I get the ratio from. But where I got out 123, oh, sorry, 127. All right, so here's the move here. Give me 1 second. Let me label this for you guys. All right, so my entry was here on this line right here, 39, 12, 93 on this wick. Why? Can't explain that right now. Again, those who actually get access to the funding group will actually learn the strategy. Those who get access to the indices group will learn the strategy. All right. Now, my stop loss is going to be here. I can't explain why, but this is where my stop loss is at the top of this wick on this candle. Why that candle? I can't really explain. We'll talk about that for those who learn the strategy. All right. So when you measure your entry to your stop loss, it's 43 pips. All right. Which means that my take profit should be 5 times my stop loss. So 215 pips. Right. As you can clearly see, price has dropped as much as 453 pips. So we could have got double the stop loss. I mean, double our ratio. 215 pips is about right here. So on this candle here, before the retrace happened, before the big retrace happened, it was just straight down, 5, 10, oh, actually about 20, less than 20 minutes, we hit our 215. I exited here. I was like, I'm done. I'm out at 127 pips, and I got out. All right. But that's it. I just want to show you the entry here on this wick. Our stop loss would have been here, and then boom, our take profit should have been the next candle for 215 pips, which had been 1-to-5. I took a 1-to-2.5 ratio. I just once I saw 127, I was like, you know what, I'm out. Because as you know, price looks good, looks nice and smooth, but price is always going up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm an impatient guy, so I closed out because I'm used to just scalping 50 pips. That first trade I took based on straight market price action. This candle right here came down. So this candle right here was New York session open. So when New York session opened, you see we were trending down. We had to fake out here. Price came down, broke this low of the day. I got in on the candle and wrote it down for quick 53 pips, got out. That's usually what I do. I scalp 50 pips. Then I saw the strategy unfold. And so I took the trade based on the strategy with 2 positions. And that's what you guys saw. I put 2 screenshots in the group. The first one was just my price action trade. The second one had 2 entries from the new strategy. And yeah, I'm mad I didn't close out because I probably would be up 20% for the day instead of just being up, almost 14%. But hey, you win some, you lose some. It is what it is. So I just want to show that move there. And yeah, again, that you said you guys took that loss on gold, or was it S&P?
That was S&P.
Gotcha.
Oh, CB said there's a Bitcoin M5 bag sale. I love it that CB gave you the entire thing. the direction, entry, time frame. Um, good job, CB. Bitcoin. Where's my Bitcoin at? Do I not have Bitcoin on my chart? I must have replaced Bitcoin with Ethereum and then I got rid of it. Oh man, I'm missing this now. I had Bitcoin earlier. Y'all got me on Bitcoin now. Thanks a lot, by the way. Just trying to stay away from that thing.
I mean, you see everybody in there eating pips daily.
Yes, I'm a competitive person. I don't like seeing other people doing better than me. I need to follow them. I need to get on the ball. A down entry on the M5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, and it's off of a zone. I'm taking this one. Where's my zoom? Yeah. Bounce, arrow, go. I'll do that one. Yep. Sell. Boom. Now I have no clue on take profit on this thing. So I am.
For
What'd you
me,
say,
I
Nate?
like that's 2,500 to 5,000 pip level is pretty good. I like that's a good range, which is 250 to 500 pips.
Okay. So let me see if at the MA is that going to do it. So okay, so it's actually a little bit more if it goes to the MA. So I'm gonna move it up.
And I guess I'll take this trade with you guys on my account here. We'll get some cryptocurrency flowing. I don't think we haven't had a crypto trade all week. It's been kind of dull.
I'm just moving my take profit here for a second here.
Just pop mine in there. Let's get it.
You probably got a better entry than when we did.
Yeah, caught a little pullback.
Let me see. I don't know why my hover thing is not coming in, but that's fine with me. I believe this is at 2,500. Yeah. All right, so that's that. And let me look at the Q&A. Thanks, CB. So both people were asking about the secret groups. That's the one where he's in the AIRO bag chat. This is for both of the people who asked that question. In the AIRO bag chat, in the pinned messages, Nate posted it up in there about the different groups that are active right now with the rules and qualifications to get into those groups. So definitely go check those because he has like a little list. But the main thing is to have live accounts and have them linked up to an FX book, a MyFX book, or it can be FX Blue, or do you prefer MyFX book, Nate?
Either or.
Okay. It could be either or. And just as long as it's with a live account and we can verify the amount of pips according to those qualification rules, then, send that to Nate. He'll take a look. You fit, you qualify, he'll let you in. Oh, CB says, Nate, check your DM. He wants to be part of this crypto club.
All right, cool. I got a ton of DMs. So, hey, is CB the one that called out this Bitcoin trade?
Yep.
Hey, shout out to CB, man. I'm up 1,500 pips. I got two positions in. We moving. I'm up 1,500 pips right now. So, let's get it.
There we go.
I'm trying to catch 10K pips on this move right here, so I can get back in the group again.
Did anybody hit 25K yet?
Man, we got somebody, and I need to update I haven't updated their flyer yet. We got somebody at over 300,000 already.
Woo, that is beautiful. Let's see. I got to buy on my oil, and I got to sell on yen. GJ. Let me see. Okay, no, on GJ is going right into the zone. That's similar to what GU did earlier. So, we're not doing that. So, even though GU did break that support zone, see? So, I'm going to just correlate that back to you guys. Remember earlier we were talking about this GU trade, and it was directly in the zone, and asked Nate, it qualifies for bank induction rules, but based on market fundamentals of the indices melting, he was like, I wouldn't personally take that trade. And look what happened. It kept going down. So my thought process, GJ might do the same thing. I would just stay away from it. So that would be that. And then a sell on G Chef on the 1 hour on an M entry. Okay. Is G Chef should be in an uptrend. But you're saying doing it off of an M entry. Okay. Let's take a look. G Chef.
Shout out to CB up 3,000 pips. Let's go.
Almost there. Off of 2 entries you said you're in?
Yeah, I got in at the exact entry we should have got in at, and I got in, earlier. I had the earlier entry, so I got 2 positions.
This is like my 7th Bitcoin trade. 7. I haven't even hit 10 yet.
Hey, that'll work. I gotta tell you, some of the best trades come from the group. I can tell you, we've caught some nice trades on London session. So I love watching that chat because I'll pull out some trades. Some of the best trades come from the chat.
Yes. So you said, let's see, 1,000. It was as high as 1,100, and my take profit is at 2,500 pips. I don't know if I've hit that off of this level. I was in a Bitcoin trade yesterday, though. I put my pips out there. Hopefully everybody saw that. I was really proud of myself.
That'll work.
It was off of H1. So it was 100. I got out. I took partial profits at 180,000 pips. So I guess that's really 1,800 pips. So
you said how many pips?
The total on AIRO is at 180,000.
So that's 18,000. All you it's just 1 0. Yeah, just take 1 0 away. That's you. So yeah, you qualify for you almost at the 25,000 level. Go ahead, send me that Maya Facebook so we get you in the group, girl.
Oh, I didn't even know. Well, shoot, shout out to Corey for that one because he's the one that got me on Bitcoin. Well, look at that.
There it is. About to hit that 2,500 now.
It is. Yay! Woohoo!
Shout out to that.
Thank you, CB. Even though I don't know if you know who CB is. He was one of the panelists. I just couldn't get him up here because I don't know how to put panelists up here. Sorry, y'all. I guess I have to work on that. I was not expecting to do the call today mostly by myself. Oh, Lexi's in the chat talking about some cash says, oh, he's all done with binary. He's coming for the cryptos. That's what he told me to tell you, Nate.
Yeah, Cash, you need to give me some of those binary money, man. I see you making that binary money you're making over there.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, come on, we got room for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? That is the last call. That was the last trade because we over time, y'all. I didn't even pay attention. So I am actually going to stop sharing my screen. That was beautiful that we took that trade. Thank you. Shout out to CB. I feel better now because I made it more than made up my loss from the S&P with then some. So thank you. But I appreciate everybody being on a call. Thank you, Nate, for jumping on the call. I know you were tired, but I actually had fun today. Hopefully everybody else had fun. I feel like we went over a lot today. We went over fibs. We talked about stock options. I'm going on Think of Swim this afternoon now just to refamiliarize myself with the platform because you shouldn't have showed it to me. And, I'm just glad that we all had some fun. So y'all pay attention to those swings. Tomorrow's Friday. Don't fall for the fake outs. Okay. With those swings, let's do these scalp if you want to. Follow the rules of AIRO. I might be on a call in London tonight. We'll see if I get up. But if not, hopefully everybody has a wonderful weekend. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay safe. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. I'll be back on Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to be doing Thursday next week or Wednesday, but I'll definitely be here on Tuesday. So keep y'all posted. Anything you want to end up with, Nate?
Now, if you guys are going to continue to trade, make sure you trade responsibly. And I'll see you guys on the funding papers.
All right, y'all. Take care. Bye.